nylon wax.
Look at the size of the houses. Against working for an industry that kills over 1,000 people a day, it is pretty well. We gotta help these tobacco execs, man. Throw on the tape. Yeah. Cue the tape.
I am a good person. Selling a product that kills people makes me uncomfortable. I realize cigarettes are addictive.
It's like money is addictive, too.
Tomorrow, I will look for a new job. I am a good person.
You want to go? I feel a little out of place. Yeah.
Make room at the table, boys, because women are getting things they need, like iron, zinc, protein, and some B vitamins from the food they love. Beef, it's what's for dinner tonight.
There is a mint gum unlike any other gum. Icebreakers. A cool mint blast. Icebreakers, intense mouth-freshening gum.
Hey, fellas.
Hey, got any 8-penny galvanized?
Sure, Bob.
Oh, and some 12 ounces for later.
No problem. See you next weekend.
All right, we are back with the finale of Fate Stay Night. If you don't know me, I am the Infinite Dragon, and I am here live on Twitch. Link to my Twitch channel will be in the description down below. We are we have a goal to get 1K followers before the end of the year. So if you're not already following me on Twitch, if you use Twitch, you should follow me, because obviously you know what I'm doing. Also have a goal for your YouTube for 2K subscriptions. So if you don't use Twitch and you like the content that I make, subscribe it. I also want to know something from the Fate community, because I've done Fate Stay Night and I've done we've now done Unlimited Blade Works, and if you guys get this to like a high enough amount like of views and likes and stuff, I should be able to I should just do more of the Fate stuff, right? Because you guys seem to like it, right? But I don't know which game I should play after this. Assume that I can play any of them. But if I were to continue playing the Fate series and seeing more stuff, doing more VNs and whatnot, what game do I play next? Because this, I know, chat told me that Remastered is like a continuation, it's like a redo of Reading the 2 or whatever the other version is. So this is like the best version of this game. But I don't know what else to play. So let me know. But we are on the finale. I didn't actually just open up the second instance of that. Yeah, we are on the finale. We've just finished dinner. Let's strategize to beat up Gilgamesh. Seriously, hit the like button. I appreciate it. Thank you.
では、リンは竜道寺に聖杯があると。ええ、前から今回の恒例場所は竜道寺だと睨んでたのよ。キャスター対策で監視役の使い魔を放ってたんだけど、それもついさっき潰れたし。あの金ピカ、竜道寺に陣取ってると見て間違いないわ。竜道寺ですか。厄介ですね。あの山には山門からでしか侵入できない。当然ギルガメッシュも山門で待ち構えているでしょう。そうね。けど逆に言えば位置が特定できて助かるわ。あいつも厄介だけど、聖杯の召喚を止める方が先決だもの。セイバーにはあいつの足止めをしてもらって、その隙に私たちで聖杯を壊すっていうのが理想でしょうね。
待った、聖杯を壊すってそれはセイバーじゃないとできないんじゃないのか。俺たちじゃ聖杯には触れないんだろう。
そうね、私たちに呼び出された聖杯を壊すことはできないけど、その前に聖杯の器を壊すことはできる。正確には聖杯が発動する前に停止させるってことだけど。
聖杯を停止させるってどういう意味だ。
あんまり考えたくないんだけど、今までの話を総合すると、聖杯はイリアスフィールの心臓でしょ。けど、聖杯っていうのはイリアスフィールの体、魔術回路とセットだと思う。あいつはイリアスフィールが聖杯になることを嫌がって、核となる器官だけを引き抜いた。 とするとね、聖杯として機能させるためにはもう一度魔術師の体に埋め込まないといけない。残ったマスターは私とあと一人だけ。私がここにいる以上、あいつが聖杯基盤に選ぶのは
シンジってことか。けどシンジにはその
魔術回路がないって言うんでしょ。きっとそんなの構わないのよ、あいつは。不完全な聖杯を作りたがってるんだから、不完全なマスターに埋め込むでしょうね。血が絶えたって言っても魔頭の血族には遺伝的に魔術回路の跡があるし、イリアスフィールの心臓なんてそんな核融合炉をつけられたら、閉じてた回路だって力ずくで開かれるわ。
In that case, what we need to do first is to separate Shinji from the Grail. Understand what that means to become the foundation for the Grail, but we must stop it But we must stop it if we can still make it.
ですが、それをギルガメッシュが許すとは思えない。聖杯を止めるということは、ギルガメッシュを倒すということではないのですか？
そうだな。あいつが聖杯を守っているのは明白なんだから、まずあいつをどうにかしないと話にならない。
そうね。けどあいつ山門で私たちを待ち受けてると思うのよ。私たちの最大の戦力であるセイバーが山門からしか入れない以上、それ以外の突入経路はないんだもの。だから。
なるほど。私は単身で山門から突入する。リンとシロはその隙に裏から竜道寺に侵入するのですね。マスターである二人なら竜道寺の結界も意味はない。
そういうこと。セイバーには頑張ってもらうしかないんだけど、とにかくあいつの足止めをして、私たちも聖杯を止め次第すぐに駆けつけるから。
また、それは無茶だ。セイバーじゃあいつにはかなわない。足止めなんてできないぞ、きっと。
何よ、やけにあいつの肩を持つわね、シロ。
全くです。確かに彼は強敵だが、それでも防戦に徹すれば私とて簡単には敗れません。その根拠を言ってください、シロ。
いや、そういう意味じゃないんだ。俺が見た限りあいつよりセイバーの方が強い。これは絶対だ。かけてもいい。
ではなぜそのようなことを言うのです？
だから英霊である限りあいつには勝てないんだ。そうだな。もしあいつがセイバーと同じ宝具しか持ってないのなら、セイバーはまず負けない。剣士としての能力は比べるまでもないんだから。けどあいつの強さはそういう個人としての強さじゃないんだ。どんなに優れた兵士でも戦争そのものには勝てないだろ。あいつはそういう類の英霊だ。対抗するには同じ戦争じゃないと飲み込まれる。
つまりシロは私と彼とでは相性が悪いと言っているの
Yeah,
で
the
す。
matchup's poor. He's putting a ground soldier against a tank, is what he's saying.
だから登坂、何の策もなしでセイバーとあいつは戦わせられない。せめて突破口ぐらいないと勝ち目がないんだ。
そんなこと言われなくても分かってるわよ。
Then why didn't you think of that?
だから今からそれを考えようって言ってるんじゃない。
ではリンには策があるのですね。
そう都合よく思いつくはずないでしょ。シローの言った通り、あいつの宝具は戦争だもの。戦争っていうのは戦力をどれだけ整えたかで勝敗が決まるものでしょ。いかに上手に兵器を扱えるかじゃなくて、どれだけ相手と同じ戦力を。
なんだよ登坂、いきなり黙り込んで。
そっか、だから目の敵にしてたんだ。 そうよね。自分の宝具を持たない英霊なら原点になる武器さえ存在しない。待てよ、それってつまり。
Why is she blushing?
リン、どうしたのです？いきなり私の背後に回って。
なんでもない。ちょっと考え事するから2人で勝手に会議してて。
Hmm? Sarah and I look at each other. Well, if Tosaka has an idea, then it's better we leave her alone.
では、そうなるとアーチャーとの一騎打ちは避けた方がいいということですね。ですが、私とてリンのバックアップがある。彼女からの供給があれば、封印していた私の宝具も問題なく使用できます。それならば、彼が宝具を使用する前に倒せる可能性があるのですが。
セイバーの宝具？それって風王結界じゃなくて？
はい。風王結界は鞘に過ぎません。リンの許しがあれば、私は自らの聖剣を使用できます。前回聖杯を破壊したのもその件です。
そうか。じゃあ、
そのあたりは
大阪次第ってことか。
そうですね。聖剣を使用すれば、私だけでなく、リンにも大きな負担がかかります。リンの魔力の大半を奪うことになるでしょう。
だってさ、遠坂。お前の魔力量、どのくらい余裕があるんだ？
魔力量って、なんで私の考えてることわかるのよ、あんた。なんでもない。私のことは放っておけって言ったでしょ。セイバーの宝具のことならちゃんと分かってるわ。言っとくけど、私とセイバーじゃ撃てて2回よ。1回は聖杯に使うんだから、ギルガメッシュとの戦いに使うって言うなら1回だけだからね。
セイバー、遠坂はそう言ってるけど、どうだ？
わかりません。アーチャーがあらゆる宝具を持
What
つ
the hell
と
just
いうな
happened?
ら、私の宝具と。
そうか。結局、
Wait, what the hell?
競い合いになるのは否めないの。
Oh, we just played the whole entire thing. She said, I am not sure if Archer truly possesses any noble phantasms there are, then he must have something that can contend with my sword. Then it will become down to whose noble phantasm is truly superior. So in the end, it's still going to end up just like a competition of phantasms. If it ends up like that, Gilgamesh will have the upper hand. I won't let Saber walk into a reckless fight like that, but... Damn it, can't put my thoughts together. By the way, what exactly is Tosaka doing? She's been acting weird. I say that because she's been looking in my direction and then quickly looking away.
はい、遠坂。言いたいことがあるなら言えよ。アイデアあるんだろ？
ないわよ。こんなところで言えるわけないでしょ、バカ。
Eh? I don't understand what made her say something like that, and then quickly look away as if something weird was on my face. I understand the gist of the plan, but I'm not sure what she...
なんでもない。あいつは変なんで、ほっといて話を進めよ
う。Yeah. And so, we're continuing our strategy meeting with just the two of us. But without Tosaka, the brain of our operation, we can't really think of an effective strategy to overcome our predicament.
ないんならさっきの案でいいでしょ。決行は夜明け前だから、それまで各自自分の部屋で十分に休みを取っておくように。
Tosaka has unilaterally decided the direction for us. Time is passing by. The hands on the clock are reading. The hands on the clock are about to signal a new day. It's almost midnight then. Saka told me at least take a nap, but I'm not really in any condition to fall asleep. In a few hours, we'll have to face that servant. If we move right before dawn, that means everything will be over by the time the sun rises. There's no way I can stay still in time like this. I should. I think we save here, yeah? Well, Tosaka obviously has something on her mind, so let's go talk with her. But in the original timeline, there was like 8 paths here that just fuck up and lose. So we might be here for a minute.
そうだな。こんな状況で眠ってられるか。
The strategy against Gilgamesh. If you were to face a cold-hearted enemy like that, we will end up with nothing but regret if we don't try to find an opportunity. If you go to Ryoto Temple now, I'm sure someone's going to die. Rather than end up with a regret like that, it's not a shame to try to do anything. To struggle until the very last moment.
トサカ、起きてるか？
I knock on her door.
ちょっと待った。絶対入るな。
Why would I walk in? Knowing Tosaka, I thought she would be sleeping by now, but it seems she's still awake. Not only that, she's panicking. And you hear her running around the room for something. It seems she's finally calming down. After a loud, deep breath that I can hear through the wall, she opens the door.
で、何よ。
She glares at me as soon as we see each other.
いや、何って話の続きだよ。ギルガメッシュへの対抗策をもう少し考えたいんだ。
Huh? Why are you staring me down like that?
トサカ、もしかして今すごく不機嫌か？
I already know what she's going to say, but it isn't her to ask. What do you think? She obviously yelled at me, but I'm really curious, so I end up asking her anyway. However,
別にそういうわけじゃないわ。
well, now she's making me feel even more confused.
トサカ、お前熱でもあるのか？
ないわよ。もういいから入ったら。ギルガメッシュをどうこうするかってことならこっちから行こうと思ってたんだから。
But that was some kind of flag. I'm sure Tosaka drags me inside the room and locks the door. Then she slowly moves into the back of the room. Was the correct answer to just stay in our room? Doesn't seem like there was a correct answer. Anyway, I start to move toward the center of the room. Facing toward Tosaka, I sit her down and cross her. Silence. She says she had something she wanted to talk to me about, and she's not saying a word right now.
トサカ、ギルガメッシュのことなんだが。
分かってるわよ。セイバーと戦わせたくないって言うんでしょ。セイバーには優しいのよね、ヘミヤ君は。
あのな、そういう話じゃないだろう。単にセイバーじゃあいつとは相性が悪いから配置換えをするべきだって話だ。足止め役のセイバーが倒されたら次に狙われるのはトサカなんだから。
じゃあ配置換えって言うけどどうするつもりよ。私はパスよ。あの金ピカ金に焼かせてタイ魔術の武装をまとってるし、私じゃあセイバー以上に相性が悪いわ。それはあなただって同じでしょ。
Not necessarily true. She's right. But I just can't forget those eyes. What Ursula's gaze is trying to tell me. The golden servant. Only Shiro Omiya can go up against Gilgamesh.
トサカ、怒らないで聞いてくれ。あいつの相手は俺が。
あなたがするって言うんでしょ。なんだ、やっぱり気づいてたんだ。ギルガメッシュの宝具の天敵はアーチャーの魔術なんだって。
My jaw dropped.
って、シロ、あんた気づいてなかったっていうのにそんなふざけたこと口走ったわけ？
あ、いや、それは確証がなかっただけで、俺たちの中なら一番俺に可能性があるかなと。
誰に入れ知恵されたか知らないけどそれは間違いじゃないわ。 ギルガメッシュを最強たらしめているのは宝具の数でしょ。 けど逆を言えば同じ数の宝具さえ持っていれば力は拮抗する。
同じ数の宝具。
Basically, I just need to copy every single one of his weapons as soon as he unleashes them. Or are you gonna need the shotting gun for that shit,
そう
bro?
よ。あいつはあなたたちのことを偽物だって言ってたけど、それは敵として脅威を感じたからでしょうね。あいつは英霊エミヤに対してだけは互角の戦いをせざるを得ないんだから。
That's true, but
そうかもしれない。けど無理がある。アーチャーの剣を一本投影するだけでボロが出るんだぞ。あんな次から次に宝具を出されたら投影も間に合わないし魔力も持たない。
あなたの魔術が今までと同じならね。けどアーチャーの宝具が何だったか覚えてるでしょ。あの魔術固有結界さえ使いこなせるようになればギルガメッシュに対抗できる。
the sucker stares at me with high expectations. Unfortunately, I can't answer her expectations.
無茶だ。固有結界ってのは禁呪中の禁呪じゃないか。やり方がわからないし、アーチャーが世界を作るときに使った魔力は俺の数倍だぞ。
ええ、無理なのは分かってる。けどやり方ならあなたはもう知ってるはずよ。だってあなたの魔術は結局みんなそれなんだもの。強化も投影もあなたの固有結界から漏れたものに過ぎない。必要な魔力さえあれば驚くぐらい簡単に歯車が噛み合うと思う。
仮にそうだとしても無理なことに変わりはないだろう。俺には結界を張る魔力も維持する魔力もないんだ。あいつは長い年月をかけて魔術回路を鍛えていったんだろうけど、俺にはあいつほどの魔力が。
分かってる。でもギルガメッシュも言ってたでしょ。自分で補えないならよそから持ってくるのが魔術師だって。
だから俺にはそんなよそから魔力をもらってくるなんて器用な真似はでき
That's
ないん
not
だ
what
っ
she
て。
said.
遠坂みたいに宝石に魔力を貯めているわけでもないし。もしかしてあの宝石を使おうっていうのか。
Of course, I don't think she'll agree to that, seeing as I don't have any training in magecraft to be able to utilize those gems.
それで済むならとっくに渡してるわ。けど私の宝石は私にしか変換できないから却下。でもアプローチとしてはそれしかない。他人の魔力を自分のものとして扱うのにはいろいろと手順があって、現状でできることといったらもうそれぐらいしかないわけだし。
なあ遠坂、どんな考えかぐらい教えてくれないか。これじゃあ相談にも乗れない。
そんなことシロに言えるわけないじゃない。
It seems she's thinking about something that's hard to tell me.
なんでもないの。方法はいくつか考えられるんだけど、その中で可能性の低いものを取捨選択していただけで。
そうなのか。それでいい考えがあるのか。
うん、率直に言うと私とあなたの問題。
Okay, so it was a love
魔力
romance
の
flag.
蓄えのある魔術師同士をつないでやりくりする方法よ。
Yeah, but you got a flag.
俺と遠坂の間にパスを通して魔力の融通をする。
そう。シロに固有結界を使うための魔力量が足りなくても私にはある。あなたには私の魔力を使ってギルガメシュと戦ってもらう。その間に私とセイバーが聖杯を破壊する。こっちにはセイバーがいるんだから、私の魔力が多少減っても戦力は拮抗するわ。
If I can use my reality marble to hold Gilgamesh back without any of the servants and masters, the Holy Grail is left wide open. Stop being a mage and having Saber by your side, our chance of success is higher.
しかしだな、その前の段階が難しいというか、俺はパスの通し方なんてわからない。
そんなの承知の上でよ。 その方法を考えるのが私の役目なんだし。
No, I know a way. It happened last time. Saka's thinking of something. He doesn't look optimistic about it.
パスの通し方だけど、即効性があって魔力の融通が可能となると、方法は数えるほどしかない。一番有効なのは魔術回路をお互いに移植すること。
Transplant our magical circuits into each other. Magic circuits are secondary pseudo nerves that can be said to define mage. Using to exert influence on mana, the core mechanism of a mage. It's a living inheritance to make sure one's bloodline can have the foundation necessary to realize their family's great work when they've reached the pinnacle. You could say it's like one's blood and bone that strengthens as time goes on.
魔術回路って俺たちの中にあるあれか？
そう。魔術師の本質をお互いに移植すれば、これほど確実なパスはないわ。相手の回路の一部が自分のものになれば、そこへ魔力を伝えることは造作もない。
Her explanation is short and simple, and yet contains a sense of that guilt. Of course it would. You can't even begin to imagine the consequences of doing something that's crazy as transplanting your magical circuits into someone else. For a person to offer their own magic circuits to be transplanted, it also means they're giving up their integrity as a mage. But that makes this easier.
よし、俺の魔術回路を移植しよう。なんだよ、遠坂。
That's not what she said.
気持ちは嬉しいけど却下。だって意味ないもの、それ。
Right in my face. She just ends up throwing my resolve right back in my face.
なんで？
いい？そもそも魔力を融通するのはシロウの固有結界を使うためでしょ。なのにシロウの魔術回路を減らしてどうするのよ。私の魔力とシロウの全魔術回路を使って初めてあの固有結界は実現できるんだから。
I see. I'm the one who uses reality marble. I will only barely be able to create a fantasy big enough to corrode the world itself when I fully exert my magic circuits. If I were to transplant some of my magic circuits into Tosaka to create a path, then it wouldn't have enough circuits to perform my magecraft, which would defeat the purpose.
わかった。手間暇かけて戦力ダウンしているようなものよ、シロ。
すまない。そこまで考えが及ばなかった。
いいわ、そんなに謝らなくても。今の返答、それなりに予想してたし。ま、即答だったのは予想外だったけど。
じゃあ、遠坂の魔術回路を俺に？
That also means...
確かにシロウの回路を私に移植するより逆の方が戦力は確保できる。でも移植の儀式をするのは私。魔術回路を使いながらその回路自体を減らしていくだなんていうのは術そのものの安定が確保できない。使い魔の契約ほど形式化していれば安全性は確保できるけど、魔術師同士のパスのためなんてのはあんまり例がないことだし。
共倒れになるかもしれないってことか。
そう。あなたの魔術回路を私がもらうのは論外。私の魔術回路をあなたにあげるのは惜しい不正解ってところね。
So what now?
だからあなたに私の魔術刻印を移植する。
Sorry, there's a bot chat. She's gonna transfer the magic crest into us. How does that work? Magic crest. It records the secrets and hidden arts of a mage's family. It's their history. Magic circuits are the blood and bones of a mage, then one could say that the crest is their muscle. The magic crest is magecraft taking form. Through the life work of a mage leading the family in that generation, what was supposed to be formless is then given form. It is the proof of a mage's existence. Saka's having inherited her family's crest, she gets to enact the magecraft that this generation's family had created.
いや、それは。
Hello, Sark.
分け与えるということなら魔術刻印の方が何倍も楽よ。魔術回路と違って本当に受け渡すためのものだから。まあ 魔術回路ほど私そのものでもないけど、遠坂の家系でできているものだし、パスとして使う分には十分よ。
それは本当に？
本当だってば。刻印化している魔術はまあ使い物にならなくなるけど、受信装置としての役割ぐらいになら作り変えられるわよ。ああ、それとも成功率の話？一族じゃない人間に魔術刻印を移植できるかってこと？
That's what I'm wondering, yeah.
それも一応気になるけど。
大丈夫、任せなさい。きっかり白をバックアップしてセイバーと3人で勝ち残って聖杯を手に入れるから。もう決めたことだもの。ここ一番の失敗も今回ばかりはねじ伏せてやるわ。
She starts confidently with his bright smile. There's nothing else that needs to be said. Removing her magic crest. That's the same as delaying her family's ultimate wish with her own hands. I've seen this so many times. The fact that she could overcome that truth with just a simple smile and with such determination is her strength. I've seen it so many times.
何よ、急に物分かりいい顔して。私の顔なんか変？
ああ、そうだな。初めて教会に行った時と同じだ。なんていうか、遠坂のいいところって分かりづらいよな。
失礼な言い草ね。それで思い出したけど、あの時私って変な子。
He said that wrong, but that was cute. The faded night when I summoned Saber. Masaka looked seriously worried about me. Someone who was just her enemy, but I got sick at the church. I never forget how much that expression saved me. I can't say too much about others, but Tasaka was a really nice person. Probably nicer than anyone I've ever met.
まあ変な顔だった。俺あの時はまだ遠坂のことを優等生だって思ってたし、あんな顔するなんて思わなかった。
どうせ猫かぶりで冷酷な女ですよ。わかりづらくて悪かったわね。
Yes, but I've already been saved by her. She's kind yet realistic, and she has a heart of steel who's willing to discard her weakness at a moment's notice. Why does it keep doing that? She hides her hesitation and troubles in her heart, and always shows the elegant side of her to everyone, treading forward on her own path of grace.
で、それはいいけど、なんでジロジロこっち見るのよ、あんた。
ああ、そっか。ちょい見とれてたみたいだ。今更だけどさ、そういう遠坂だから俺は好きになったんだなって。
Then I can't lose. She's willing to translate her magic circuits, her magic crest to me without hesitation and regret, and I must repay her kindness with my own trust.
好きって今はそういう話をしてる場合じゃないけど、聞いてあげるぐらいなら構わないというか。
Tasaka is writing herself. I'm glad. Seems she's prepared and has noticed my resolve.
ああ、分かってる。時間もないし、無駄話をしている暇はないよな。さ、早く移植を始めよう。具体的にはどうすればいいんだ、遠坂。
Her mouth is wide open. That's weird. Did I just say something funny? Nah, he completely misread that.
なんだよ。なんか都合の悪いことでも思い出しちまったか？
For example, some kind of jinx that prevents us from performing the ritual at a certain time of day?
別にちょっと頭痛がするだけ。慣れたつもりだったけど、エミヤ君の巡りの悪さを甘く見ていたわ。ほんと今に始まったことじゃないからいいけどね。言葉自体はまあ悪くなかったからよしにしといてあげるわ。
Ah, poor girl. He doesn't even understand what he did wrong. She swings her body and turns away from me, and then she starts to take various items out of her bag. It's so funny because she's this is the most valid tsundere I've ever seen in my life.
はい、 えずこれ飲んで。痛み止めみたいなものだから。
おう。
Put the lozenge in my mouth. It is not a lozenge. Sasaka turns off the light in the room and starts to draw some kind of pattern on the floor. About 5 minutes have passed. When the preparation is complete, Tosaka sits down on the bed.
それで遠坂、俺はどうすればいいんだ?
It doesn't seem like she didn't hear me. It doesn't seem like she didn't hear me. But Tosaka is having the strange, troubled look on her face.
なんだよ。言いにくいことなのか? 覚悟はできてるからな。大抵の無茶なら驚かないさ。
So he says. This is what I meant by trust. Tosaka nods her head.
じゃあ、言いにくいんだけど、とりあえず服を脱ぎなさい。
With nervousness in her tone, she issued a command I'm not used to. Let's assess the situation. The lights are off. Tosaka is sitting on the bed with her head down, clearly nervous. Why am I the only one? Why am I only realizing this now? I don't want to say this next line, but I will anyway. Tosaka's soft-looking body and her... it's so cringe! And her legs dangling above the floor are making her look very seductive. And she's asking me to take off my clothes.
そこ、変な誤解しない。単に服を脱げって言っただけでしょ。私だって脱ぐんだから公平だし。
I took my weird fantasy back after she yelled it.
遠坂も脱ぐ?
I don't know how else to interpret what she said other than taking it as exactly what it is.
だから曲解しない。服を脱ぐのは体温を伝えやすくするためで、それ以上の意味はないんだから。いい？魔術刻印の移植には高度な共感状態にならないといけないのよ。そのためにも余分なものはできるだけ剥ぎ取っておかないとダメでしょ。
ああ、なるほど。
Of course. I'm not sure what transplanting a magic crest actually looks like, but from the sound of it, it can be similar to a medical transplant. I guess you wouldn't operate on a patient when they're fully clothed.
ちゃんと説明してくれればいいのに。上だけでいいんだよな。
当たり前でしょ。下まで脱いだらそこのヒーター投げつけるから。
The scary thing of what she might actually do. Taking off my top, I had her take care of the injury. I've had her take care of my injuries a few times already, but it still feels a little embarrassing. I can hear Tosaka taking a deep breath in the dark.
じゃあ次ね。シロ、ちょっとあっち向いてて。
そうか。遠坂も脱がなきゃいけないのか。
No answer. Taking her silence as affirmation, I quietly turn around. As I turn my back towards her, I take a deep breath to calm myself. I'm going to receive her magic crest and create a pact between us. Her magical energy will pass through it, allowing me to activate the reality marble in order to defeat that servant. This is simply a process in the long and dangerous fight. I should be able to suppress unnecessary thoughts by just reaffirming that fact to myself.
いいわよ、シロ。
My heart skips a beat. I turn around to face Tosaka. What a sound. It might seem rude, but I'm troubled by what I'm seeing.
遠坂、なんだその気合の入らない脱ぎ方は。
Tosaka is taking up some clothes. From the way she removed them, I don't feel any resolve in her.
何よ、不満だっていうの？
不満というよりバランスが悪いというか、だいたいこっちは上着を全部取ってるのに遠坂はそれだけだと比率が合わないし、どうもシンメトリーじゃないのは落ち着かない。
わかった。両足とも脱げばいいのね。こやつ思いもよらずマニアックな。
Well, I shouldn't press any further on what we're talking
いい
about.
けど、 儀式を行うのは遠坂だし、それで成功するっていうなら文句はない。
そりゃ脱がない分難度は上がるけど、だって全部見せちゃうのもったいないというか。
That's adorable. Tosaka is murmuring to herself. Unfortunately, it's taking everything in me to keep calm, so I don't have any energy left to argue with Tosaka.
じゃあシロ、もう一度後ろ向いてて。
She whispers to me, and I turn around immediately. This time, the sound of Tosaka's clothes rustling lasts a little longer than before. Once again, I remind myself that this is a serious ritual. Even if Tosaka is in her most exposed and defenseless form, we would just say naked, my becoming frantic will ruin this whole thing.
今度はこれでどう？シロ。
Tosaka's voice trembles, so they look over to Tosaka's body. I can faintly see the soft outline of her body under the dim lamplight. Her shoulders, neck, and collarbone form the most beautiful silhouette.
どう？これで満足？
I'm relieved that even when she looks so beautiful, she's still the same snappy Tosaka. I try to relax my expression, and I feel that I may have unknowingly broken into a smile.
文句なし。逆にこっちがきつい。
I cover my face with my hands and take a very deep breath. If I don't at least hide my face, which is probably as red as an apple right now, I'll lose my composure.
その顔を見れただけでアイコにしとく。じゃあシロ、こっち来て。
It's adorable. Tosaka makes a gesture beckoning me to join her at the bed. We sit facing each other on the bed. The bed bounces, reacting to our weight.
What the hell is this?
Not sex. That did not help. Well, yeah, that's definitely a clip. Oh my god. Without saying a word, we both take in a deep breath. It's like us went to start the magic crest transplant ritual. If I was home, that would be a clip. Don't worry, I got it. I had it. I forced myself to calm down before this intimate encounter. They are not making it easy for me. This really isn't sex. My consciousness is getting clearer as I focus my mind.
始めるわ。シロの胸にこれを当てて。
She reaches out her left hand with the magic crest. What? Okay, no, I did the whole thing again. As I began receiving magical energy, the pattern on the upper area of my exposed arm faintly started to shine.
同調した後にシロの魔術回路に魔術刻印を移植する。魔術刻印は筆境他人の体。植え付けられるのは異物を盛り込まれることだから、体は拒絶反応を示すかもしれないわ。
He's done that before. His training is literally trying to put a fucking metal rod in his spine, so he should be fine with this.
わかった。そういう荒事には慣れてる。
Hey, yo? This is no different from how I was trained to use my magic circuit. Activating a foreign nerve system while learning to control it. Not sure if it would be the same experiences with a magic crest.
そうね。体に無茶させるのは慣れてるんだっけ。
Oops. Maybe because this reminded me of my usual training, but Tosaka lets out a small giggle. However,
それはそれとして、変なことしたら殺すからね。
she glares at me with the narrowed eyes.
変なことって、例えば
She ignored me. Yeah, but like, what did you expect him to do? Bro confessed earlier, and she was like, I'll listen to you, I'll listen to whatever you have to say, and then immediately changed the subject. Like, I don't think he understands the concept of being direct like that. I shortened the distance between us to a point that our shoulders are practically bumping together. It looks like I'm embracing Tosaka's left hand. I feel Tosaka's breath on my neck. But then I realize she isn't just breathing. That's not all she said, but okay. Her breath trembles as she utters the incantation. I can sense the magical energies filling her body through her left hand. I really don't want to read that, but I will. Her delicate fingers are placed on my chest. Through them, I can feel her pulse together with my own heartbeat.
名役を刻む。一つ、二つ、三つ、四つ、五つ、六つ、数えなく。
I close my eyes to concentrate even further. My heartbeat is syncing with the pulse of her magical energy. She's adjusting her pulse to match mine, while I maintain a steady rhythm. I focus on my mind and keep it in a serene state like I do with my own training. This is the only thing I do, since I've never experienced synchronization and I don't have a feel for it.
小さく、大きく、大きく、小さく、広く、発祥。
Sigmund Freud? You're not gonna like pass Sigmund Freud in this fucking dialogue and me not catch that. My eyelids are closed as if they've been sewn shut. My sense of smell is weakening and my sense of taste is fading. My body senses are getting distorted. I can't tell clearly if I'm sitting down or if I'm standing up. In contrast, I can feel the warmth of Tosaka's skin immediately. My own heartbeat and Tosaka's pulse. I can't tell which is which anymore. I felt in pain as if someone was having a hold over my heart. A bit of experience as I'm gripping someone's heart. I move around my fingers trying to identify this feeling I have in my palm. My hearing still works. I heard a sound just now. But my senses are mixed up. I can't tell if that was my body I touched or if that was Tosaka's voice I heard. The breaths that skip from her mouth are pained. Even while knowing that it isn't my own fault that I'm hearing, I can't help but listen to it. A voice from inside me just yelled at me. I try to ask what's happening and what's going to happen. That was as much as I could hear before I suddenly lost myself. It feels as my body has turned to paper and is rapidly being folded. Slowly, the paper that is my body is being carefully tucked away, but since time has stopped for the surrounding world, from the outside, it probably seems like all of this is happening at the speed of light. There's no limit to repeat this process of accumulation and contraction. Even though there is a limit to how many times you can fold a two-dimensional surface, no matter how much the area it has, my body keeps folding inward. My vision turns blue. While it was red before, I was folded up. Floating. I'm falling yet floating at the same time, and the world is passing me by at a rapid speed. I try to reach out my hands to familiarize myself in this world where acceleration and termination exist at the same time. I just realized that my arms were already folded away, so there's nothing for me to reach out with. Now that's an issue. I've already severed things that I've deemed unnecessary to this place, but I don't think I would lose my arms and legs. If this keeps on, then I will really lose my sense of self. That's why the first thing I need to do is not confirm the world, but to assume my own form. That's pretty. I squeeze my hands. It seems that the inside world of Saber was basically that of a volcano, and Tosaka's is like an ocean. Although temporary, I have certainly achieved a sense of self. Floating in a blue celestial sphere. There's no up or down, no sky or earth. It's quiet. I'm not talking about sound, but my current finite state of serenity. Time is flowing on the outside. Blue sea Blue sea fills the outside. There's nothing with the celestial sphere. Within the celestial sphere. Reading is hard. That means the celestial sphere is the sky to the blue sea. The egg of the world. Is the celestial sphere being covered in shells? Or is the celestial sphere flipped inside out? Please don't make me say that again. Does that void give birth to all? Or does the void sleep out form? Or does the void sleep out from all? The celestial... Please stop making me say that. The celestial sphere continues to rotate while inverted. Here, time is eternal. The formless gains form over the course of an eternity. Nothing shares the same form, and no lives differ from one another. It is a phenomena that is the common to all things. Common forms congregate and thus give form to different laws. Each rare occurrence also represents each great result. Beauty, just like the fish traversing the vast sea. Will does not exist in this complete world. This world doesn't create persistence or preservation, nor symbiosis or hostility. This place welcomes visitors. If a foreign object falls in here for them to exploit, they will, of course, respond to it. Your Honor, I survived hell. It's fucking melting, but I have pizza. Pizza is great. We are, not having sex right now. The tremendous flow of time is wavering. The collective of magic crests senses the foreign object's intention. But you must be careful. My senses are subverted. I'm seeing illusions. A hidden past not of my own passes me. It was an old memory. I don't have anything to rate then? No, you don't. Someone else's memory, a memory of parting with someone in the morning, a memory of being placed in a mansion away from Fuyuki once the battle had started. Must be careful. No matter what kind of response to whatever intention, any process conducted by them can only be perceived by humans as divine punishment. 0 to 10, no spicy tango time? Well, I mean, it's fine. These are technically minors. In a body that has no need for eyeballs and brain, I'm getting dizzy. No, dizzy's in chat right now. Information is passing by me. Seeing old memories. Parting with a certain someone in the morning. The memory of a person who watched their loved one leave, knowing she would never hold his hand again. Okay, but are they flirting? They were flirting. Mons from the magic crest are swimming around me, surrounding me while looking for bait. There's nothing I can do. Well, there's nothing a bait can do to begin with. This won't result in anything unless I observe and accept everything like this. Beesh! Change is ever slow. Time surrounds me in a spiral, passing through my body. It starts to corrode me like it's been devouring the void. Characters 2. Season Winter. Name Farewell. Flowers are being offered. A young girl standing in front of the grave. Priest standing, cowering behind the young girl. There are no words. The girl is determined to bury her own sadness yet again today. Foreign substances are invading. Spiraled blades are closing in on the body. It is like a malicious bulbul. What the fuck is a bulbul? Chat, what's a bulbul? The crest transplants have started. I observe the gruesome reality. Fortunately, my function to feel pain is folded away. I see myself being cuffed, bited, severed, dismembered, compressed, and played with. It feels like someone else. Oh, how easy is it to cut thy flesh? Oh, how easy is it to shave thy bone? The only thing left felt like a soul being eternally tormented. What's a what? A bulbul. We spelled B-U-L-B-U-L. I don't know what that is. I assume it's a flower, but I don't know what that is. One of my arms turned into that of an insect's. Or it seemed like it. How disgusting. This is also her suffering. The type of pain that I've heard resides within a magic breast. A specter. She harbors this kind of discomfort, or rather horror, that is several times more repulsive inside her body if she's able to laugh like that. She doesn't feel any disgust. When you think like that, what is there to be afraid of? Suddenly, I've come into contact with a particularly deep spot. This is mixed amongst memories of farewell and departure. It was an encounter that seared into her heart. It seared into my fucking eyes! Jesus Christ! Someone was running in the schoolyard. It's a high jump. Someone was running towards the bar again and again. She was standing there, watching the whole thing. It was meaningless, yet he kept trying until sunset. She thought to herself, what is the meaning of this? But she kept on watching, as if she was betrayed by something, as if she just witnessed something precious. That was it. An after-school sight that's not usual at any school. Unusual in any school. But to her, it was a sight that stirred up a revolution in her heart. Faintly. It was a sight familiar also to me, a sight from the bygone days. Time is returning to the outside. The world is returning completely. The strong self-awareness gained in exchange for a folded away body is evaporating. Just like foam disappearing on the surface of the sea, I was cut away from the inner world as I was welcoming a strange substance in my arm. My body feels heavy. I open my eyes while I'm still half asleep and try to faintly grasp my surroundings. My consciousness is coming back. I'm lying on the bed facing up with the top half of my body naked. My left shoulder is burning and sweating. When I try to wipe that sweat away, it hurts as if I'm suffering from a burn. I thought I was seeing more fingers. It's obvious that I'm not the same self from earlier. Just how many hours have passed since then. Don't tell me, did I end up passing out and sleeping while time just passed by? The Bulbul is the type of songbird? Ah. Also, you get to witness more flirting. Tasaka, you're still here. That's a relief. I thought for sure I'd overslept, didn't you? Huh? Am I imagining this, or is she glaring at me?
登坂、成功したのか?
もちろん成功したわよ。
Did she take off her leggings? What happened to that?
バッチリ。後遺症なんて出ないぐらいきっかり。そういうのが得意だった綺麗だって、我が弟子ながらよくやったって陰険に褒めるぐらい完璧に。
Okay, why you salty? What did you see in my inside world that made you like this? I'm sure that must be quite the achievement. But somehow Tosaka isn't proud about it, and she doesn't feel like her usual arrogant self. Rather, she's angry. She's really, really angry. No, she's embarrassed and she's basking it with anger. I can sense the tension between us. She's clearly sulking about something. I don't know why, but it seems that something has gone wrong. I feel like I need to read her mind immediately and calm her down, but it's such a bad pupil. I'm not able to think of any reason as to why Tosaka would be angry. Persistent pain in my left arm. A strange feeling that's like a combination of a sharp pain from deep cuts and stinging pain from being burnt. Without a doubt, a streak of an elaborate design seal is branded on my left arm. It's a fish! It looks like Tosaka's magic crest, and it emits a faint blue light. Also, that looks nothing like what was on her fucking arm.
登坂、これが。
ええ、私から移植した魔術刻印よ。もうただの回路になって、元の魔術の痕跡もないけどね。
That's kind of sad.
そうか。いや、すごいな。もっと痛むと思ったのに全然痛みがない。かすかに重いぐらいか。
それも時期になれるわ。魔力をつなげるだけのパスだから人体にもそう影響はないはずだし。刻印、いえ、回路の方が体に擬態していくから半年もすれば何も感じなくなる。
そうか。じゃあこれで
移植は完了。基本的には私からシロへの一方通行で、そっちから魔力を送ることはできないわ。今の段階でできるのは私の魔力を送ることだけ。
That sounds like that's really exhaustive because you're gonna send magical energy to Saber and then to us.
ここからはあなたの頑張り次第よ。固有結界を作る魔力はこれでクリアしたんだから、あとは。
No problem. All I need to do is fully activate the magical circuit and successfully create a reality marvel.
そうだな。ありがとう、登坂。魔術刻印。
当然よ。
Oops.
ごめんなんて言わせないわ。お金にしたらもう超クラス。一生ものの貸しなんだから。
そりゃ確かに一生ものだ。で、どうしてそんなに登坂は怒ってるんだ？
見たでしょ。
Ah.
Eh?
What did I see exactly? Don't tell me that when I thought I blanked out during the ritual, my body actually acted on its own and did something to Tosaka.
また、なんかしたのか、俺。
だから見たでしょ、このけだもの。
Wait, what did we see? Now I'm confused. Not possible. Did I actually do something to her when I was that was so rough that she actually used that word to describe me? There's no way that happened. I mean, the bed was tidy, and besides, I wouldn't be alive if anything like that happened.
そうだ。第一、儀式中は俺の目は機能してなかったっていうか、ほとんど真っ白だったし、見たものといえば魔術回路っぽいイメージと。
Ah. Maybe that's what Tosaka was talking about. Illusion I saw for a brief moment. The way she responded didn't make it sound like she was talking about that. They say we're restraining our senses due to synchronization. It's possible we can only see imagery from each other's mind. It wouldn't be different from when I saw Saber's dream or her spirit Emmy's dream. It all makes sense now. If this is the case, the only thing I saw the only thing I saw that she would care about is the scene taking place at schoolyard during sunset. Something that I haven't seen in my other dreams.
あれだ、登坂変な夢見てただろ。どこかの学校の校庭でバカみたいに棒高跳びしてるやつをずっと日が暮れるまで見ていたの。あれって一体なんだ？
I was hit by a pillow before I could finish my sentence. It was a swift and powerful swing. A critical strike even Saber and Fujini would be proud of. There's another problem. It's the fact that a normal soft pillow can have the impact and damage as if it was filled with water or something.
登坂、何を？
うるさい、うるさい、うるさい！
Hey, she said the thing. She keeps on hitting me with the pillow. Still looking like she did when she started the ritual, Tosaka continues to assault me with the pillow.
なんか魔力込めてないか、それ。いいからやめる。変だぞ。何がどうしたんだ？
うるさいけだもの。人の秘密を覗き見ておいて何ふんぞり返ってるのよ。
It's not like he understood what he saw.
ちょっと待て。秘密ってあんなのがか？
When I was surprised by her answer, she saw the opening and hit me in the face. It was a swift and powerful pillow uppercut. Maybe it's also the exhaustion from the transplant, but I'm haphazardly knocked down again. Tosaka must still be angry because she grabs me by the back of the head and starts dragging me across the floor.
いいわよ。いつかこっちから恥ずかしい記憶を覗き返してやるんだから。その時は土下座をしても許さないわよ。ええ。
それは勘弁。あれ、もしかして。
She won't hear me out at all. She grabs the back of my neck and throws me out of her room.
エミヤ君、女の子にはいろいろ支度があるから自分の部屋に戻っててくれない？
Can I have my shirt back? That evil grin of hers, Tosaka slams the door. Thrown into the hallway looking like this, I blankly look up at the door.
バカ言うな。男にだっていろいろあるぞ。
I hold my dizzy head up again. I hold up my dizzy head and get up. Jesus. I thought of saying something back to Tosaka on the other side of the door, but I decided not to. I wasn't able to ask Tosaka what that scene meant to her.
まあ、あれだけ嫌がるってことは何か特別な意味のあることなんだろうし。
It was you, dumbass. Muttering silly stuff like that to myself, I go back to my room. It's probably just an excuse for Tosaka to kick me out, but it's true that there's no time. The date has already changed. There's probably less than an hour left before we head to the temple.
確かに、これは。
Close my eyes and feel the magical energy from Tosaka pouring into me. Tosaka isn't consciously supplying me, yet it's filling up my body. If my maximum magical energy capacity is 20 or 30 units, then she always had 500 units of magical energy. Sure, it would take years to stack up, but her maximum capacity might reach 1,000 units if someone supplied her.
驚いた。あいつ、本当にすごいやつだったんだ。
It reconfirms it, or rather, I finally realize it. When she's depleted now, and mages usually only keep up 80% of her magical energy, so Tosaka's magical energy is about 400 units right now. I'm not sure I comprehended what I just read, but that's still a massive amount of magical energy. I used about 2 units of magical energy to use strength in the mage craft once. To use projection once, I used about 5 units of magical energy on average. Oh no, you're cooking them. In that example, the projection that I can use only 6 times at most could be used 30 or even 60 times with the help of Tosaka.
ま、いくら燃料があっても乗り物が安物ならオーバーヒートするんだろうけど。
You're still cooking. The doggo is angry with me for reasons unknown and is glaring at me from the hallway. Doesn't that mean that you're about to get some kind of weird, like, headache or something? Shouldn't you drink water and sit the fuck down somewhere? Baz is still tremendously increased my power. I might even have a chance of winning against the king of heroes like this. All that is left is...
あと1時間。それまでゆっくり体を休めないと。
I'll rest my body and regain my mental and physical strength for the final battle at Ryoto Temple. Everything is set. I'll face the last night with a fully prepared body for Tosaka's sake too, since she gave me her magical crest and opened up to me.
Pizza time.
If she comes to charge at me, then yes, you are correct, but I'm waiting on pizza. Don't you not like pizza? Wait. All right. I turn off the lights in the house. It's 4 in the morning. We leave the Emiya residence with a few hours left until dawn. We have our plan. There's nothing else to discuss, and we just need to go to the battlefield and carry out each of our responsibilities. There's no guarantee we'll be back safely. Well, until now it's been a recurring event, but this time there's no guarantee we'll return. I hate pizza that use tomato base because it never tastes right. This one has garlic sauce base, so it's gonna be excellent. Oh! So you just don't like tomato sauce? So I need to make sure that I need to make sure to turn off all the lights in my house. Someone's standing in the garden. A blonde girl gazes up at the night sky, doing nothing in particular.
おい、何してるんだ、セイバ
ー。空を見ていました。それと、この家を。
She answers me in a very gentle voice. When we first met, she looked at the house with a different expression.
いろいろありましたから、ずっと覚えていられるように、心に焼き付けておきたかった。
Her voice. It reflects a determination that she might never come back, even greater than mine.
そっか。できればずっと覚えていてくれ。
I make a humble request of her from the window hallway.
はい。 では私からもお願いします。あなたたちは私が守る。ですから必ず二人でこの家に戻ってください。
I liked the pizza time is really throwing off the mood, which is really funny. I like tomatoes, love them, but the pizza tomato sauce is always terrible. Using pasta sauce on pizza, though, is apparently a sin, so I can't do that. Why don't you just make your own tomato sauce? Just make your own pizza. You probably like that better anyway. That's the only answer I can give now. I want to destroy the Holy Grail. When that happens, Saber will leave too because she's a servant. I'm not going to stay here. She's even developed an attachment to our home. That's a rule she can't break as long as she's a servant.
ちょっと、そこ何してんのよ。時間がないんだから急ぎなさいよね。
A voice beckons us from the front door. Saka seems to have finished her preparations and is already at the gate.
では、シロ。
ああ、決着をつけに行こう、セイバー。
Pizza time.
Right. But my friend, stop saying the word pizza. Oh, well, my friend did give me a recipe for homemade protein pizza, and it looked good, so I might steal it from her. Protein pizza. The night is quiet. In the garden, under the oh! You just reminded me of something, Dizzy. Hold on 1 second. Okay, sorry, I'm back. I had to take out my own dinner. She makes most of her meals handmade, so I'll get a bunch of meat recipes. There was a cottage cheese and parmesan mixed into the dough. I don't like cottage cheese. Cottage cheese mixed with stuff is fine, but like cottage cheese by itself is gross. In the garden, under the starry sky, the illusion of a girl gazing up at the stars still remains. I'm running out of cheese. I need to get more cheese. Our direction is set. Saber's going to breach Ryoto Temple from the front gate, while Tosaka and I will infiltrate from the back of the temple. He planned to have Saber enter the temple slightly sooner than us to draw Gilgamesh's attention. We use the opening to sneak into Ryoto Temple from the back, stop the Holy Grail as soon as possible, and then back Saber up. Then I'll counter Gilgamesh's noble phantasm with my projections, so Saber can close in and finish him off. That's our only strategy right now. There's a barely intact path in the hills behind the temple. Hisaka scales the slope as surely as if she'd scoped out the area beforehand. Usually mix it with jam as part of the dough base. It's interesting. That sounds gross too. At night, the mountains are dark and sinister. The mountain is an inviolable and spiritual ground, so it'll naturally repel us. While the Dark Mountain itself is dangerous to human hikers, it also embodies a sacred realm with high spiritual purity. You're gross? Shut up, you love me. However,
尋常じゃないわね、これ。生臭すぎて吐き気がする。
Saka gags, squinting at Ryoto Temple at the summit. Fishy is just a figure of speech. There isn't actually a fishy smell coming from the mountain. It just feels bizarre. The air feels uncomfortably lukewarm and sticks to my skin. The life energy in the air feels so raw, I can't tell if I'm breathing on a mountain to breathe. I even hallucinate that we're hiking up a giant intestine.
今更だけど、シロ、体の調子はどう？
Suddenly, Saka asked me how I was.
あ、いや、調子はいいんだが、悪いというか、正直持て余してる。
I tell him my honest feelings. With this much magical energy, 10 or 20 projections would be a piece of cake. But you could compare it to putting a jet engine on a worn-out plane. You could compare it to putting a jet engine on a worn-out. Oh, a jet engine. Yeah, okay. Sorry, my brain processed jet plane on a worn-out plane, and I was like, what do you mean? I feel like I can't relax. As if I was spring of fuel and it can explode if I lose focus.
贅沢な悩みね、それ。けど、ちゃんと成功してよかった。初めてだったから心配だったのよ。
Did I make the plane explode? Yes!
心配？もしかして、本当は綱渡りだったのか？あの儀式って。
家庭じゃなくて、その後の話よ。四郎に分ける魔力と、セイバーに取られてる魔力のバランス。2人分の掛け持ちなんだから、セイバーの出力が落ちてるのはわかるでしょ？
I did know that. I said that earlier.
そうか。そうだよな。じゃあ、セイバー、思うように戦えないのか？
That just means you have to hurry.
あのね、甘く見ないで。そんな不手際はしないし、セイバーに比べたら、四郎に分ける魔力は小さいから、なんとかやっていけるわ。ただ、無理は効かないの。今のセイバーは、1回しか聖剣を使えない。
聖剣が一度しか使えない？
She can't use it on Gilgamesh. You need Saber's noble phantasm to destroy the Holy Grail.
じゃあ、セイバーは切り札を封じたままでギルガメッシュの足止めをするのか？
Yeah, which means you just have to hurry.
ええ。だから少しでも早く合流しないとまずいわ。セイバーがギルガメッシュを止められないと判断した場合、聖剣を使うようには言ってある。けど、そうしたらセイバーに後はないの。セイバーの聖剣でなければ聖杯は壊せない。だからその時は。
Well, I mean, controversially, if she uses her noble phantasm and we get there in time and stop Gilgamesh, all we need to do is just wait for her to get enough magical energy to use her noble phantasm again. I mean, we've stopped the worst part of the Holy Grail from forming, right? So that should be fine. Oh no, she's saying that if she uses her noble phantasm, she'll fall out of existence. I assume this is supposed to be she. She holds her breath. When that happens, she's prepared to use the sacred sword, knowing that she'll disappear afterwards.
そうさか。それは。
仕方ないでしょ。これはセイバーが言い出したことなんだから。私が止めたって、彼女は聖杯を壊すわよ。
Sasaka doesn't look at me as she murmurs. Fool she is. It's just as hard on Tosaka. She doesn't want Saber to disappear either.
急ごう。ギルガメッシュにセイバーは渡せない。
当然よ。私のセイバーだもの。あんな奴に殺させないわ。
We ran up a game trail. I know what we need to do. We'll stop the Holy Grail as fast as we can, then go to settle things with Gilgamesh. If Kide is there, I'm pissed.
Pudgypad has rated the channel with 10 viewers. Welcome, Pudgycat and viewers. Let's embark on a chaotic journey full of magical mischief. Join us in creating joyful moments and unforgettable adventures in our whimsical realm of fun.
Hello. I'm dying. Hello, Pudgy. How you doing? What were you up to today? I didn't actually get to see what you were playing. If you don't know, I'm the Infinite Dragon. I am currently at the end of Fate's Stay Night, the Unlimited Blade Works route. We are about to go defeat the final boss as we speak. If you're not already following me, please do so. I'm trying to get 1K followers before the end of the year, so if you're not already following me, please do so. Laney's in the raid, so if Laney was in the raid, we were probably playing fighting games, right? Busy, thank you for redeeming first. I was playing some Elden Ring with Tekken and open lobbies, landing Fizzy crazy. Fizzy, you're good at Tekken? For people who don't know, I am. No, I'm not. For people who don't know, I am. We are gonna hang out tomorrow. We're going to be watching the beginning of Solo Leveling because I was voted upon voted in loose quotations upon in the Discord. So if you haven't seen Solo Leveling or you want to see my reaction to it, be sure to show up tomorrow. Tekken is dumb fun, meaning it's dumb but fun. I mean, I know what we know what dumb fun is. Why do you explain it like that? All right, things about it. I don't know really anything about it except that it's Korean made, and then Landy told me they had Japanese stuff. Logan also recommended it to me, so well, I'll see how I like it tomorrow, I guess. I'm not good at Tekken. I'd say I'm pretty good at fighting game fundamentals, but I'm scared to become too much in love with another fighting game since MVC 3. I feel that. I'm not really. I feel the same way, but it's not that I am scared to fall in love with a fighting game. It's more that I don't have a fighting game that I love. Guilty Gear Strive is the closest to it, and I don't think the game has changed enough for the character that I play for me to continue playing it the way that I did before. So every once in a while, I get a new fighting game, I play it and go, this is fun, and then never play it again. Especially with the Tekken update. But if you guys, so the deal is that we're gonna finish this game today. This is the schedule. We're gonna finish this game today. At least I think we are. I will still be playing Shin Megami Tensei 4 as the main game, but for the rest of May, we're going to be doing random one-off retro games. So I played Fairly Odd Parents Breaking the Rules yesterday, and it was really funny. So we're gonna be just doing a whole bunch of other stuff. So there's like Bakugan Battle Brawlers, there's Bionicles Heroes, there was a License Code and Kid Next Door game. I got food. Congrats on your pizza. Virtua Fighter 6 will save fighting games trust. I'm actually looking forward to Virtua Fighter 6. I'll have to watch your Fairy Odd Parents VOD. I mean, it's up right now if you want to check it out, would you? I had to hand draw the thumbnail, which I'm really happy. I'm very excited how it turned out. Excited for Virtua Fighter. Pudgy, you gotta get the game so we can play. Before we continue for real, what's everybody eating for dinner now that Daisy's got their food? They got their pizza. I'm probably gonna make bean burgers. Although I don't have any more cheese. I have one slice of cheese left. Damn. Hopefully we finish the game soon. The mountain is rough. Dark clouds shroud the sky, and the trees seem to tremble nervously due to the tremors. Are you lurking? Well, tell me what you're gonna eat for dinner, fuck! Tell me what you did eat for dinner. It should be like 10 p.m. then.
Pizza time.
Pizza's chicken and bacon, by the way. I don't eat bacon, but it sounds like a good pizza. Finally got a new oven today after the other one broke a while ago. You didn't have an oven for a while? Jesus. Hopefully you didn't use it though. Saber watches it all from the mountain gate. She sensed it as soon as she felt nauseous. Noxious? Indescribable or oozing from your tongue. The golden servant is the only one. Spent so much time reading and then I forget how to do it. The golden servant is the only one waiting at the top of the stairs. Something aberrant lies in wait for her and her allies. Stovetop works and just worked with that. I see. She can't make any mistakes up ahead. The summon is going to be the place where they die. Then they will be the one to face the threat of death. He hopes the other two can survive this ominous realm. For their sakes, she can't afford to hold back. She could fire her sacred swords twice. She's well aware that she will disappear the instant she uses the second.
構わない。元より捨て身でなくてはかなわぬ相手だ。
Gilgamesh, the king of heroes. The only way to defeat the man with 1,000 noble phantasms is to decisive strike from her sacred sword.
じゃあセイバー、30分経ったら始めて。
She recalls Ren's words. There's only 1 minute left until the appointed time. How does she know that? We didn't give her a watch or anything. Saber breathes in deeply and considers her condition. The breeze blows from the summit. She begins up the stone steps once the ill wind begins to shake the trees. Damn! She dances up the steps in a single breath. As soon as she stepped foot on the stairs, the enemy would have realized her assault. The last servant she needs to defeat should appear within the temple grounds. She needs to get there as fast as she can and defeat Gilgamesh before Ren and Shida arrive. She isn't defying her master's orders. She began her assault after 30 minutes, just as Ren commanded. Even if she enters the temple grounds earlier than expected and engages Gilgamesh, this isn't a violation of her orders. She just deviated from her master's projections in course of protecting her master's life. While the air from the summit is putrid, she's like a gust of cleansing wind that cuts at the rot as she sets the steps. It would take her less than a minute to reach the temple. That should put her about 5 minutes ahead of Ren's projections. It will give her plenty of time to end the battle with Gilgamesh. She runs, enduring the ominous chill from the mountain gate. Like a silver speeding bullet, she races towards the summit. Just as she comes to the gate. She didn't mean to stop, but she comes to a sudden halt. Sweat coats her forehead. Saber gazes up the mountain gate in astonishment.
待っていたぞ。よくぞ間に合ってくれた、セイバー。
A smooth voice cuts through the night. Why is the assassin still here? Wait! Moonlight glints off the 5-foot longsword. An enemy that shouldn't be here stands at the top of the steps.
Assassin.
Why is the assassin here? Her voice lacks its usual grace. She's faced with an enemy, an obstacle that shouldn't be here. That fact robs her of her composure. It will rob me of my composure too. What the fuck? Why is he here?
どうしたセイバー。私がいるのがそれほど不思議か？
Yes.
私はここの門番だとお前は承知しているはずなのだが。
Yeah, but you were Caster's servant. Caster is gone. Why are you still here? His voice is delighted yet cool. The swordsman seems completely unchanged. His back to the ill wind. From the summit.
バカな。なぜここにいるアサシン？あなたはキャスターが呼び出したサーバントだ。キャスターが消えた今、あなたがとどまっているはずがない。
通常のサーバントならばそうであろう。だが、私はちと特殊でな。この身を縛っているのは人ではなく、この土地なのだ。お前たちがマスターと呼ぶよりしろ。私にとっては、それがこの山門ということになる。
土地がよりしろだと。
うん。いかに魔術師といえど、実体を持たぬサーバントにサーバントは維持できぬ。サーバントのよりしろは、この時代のものでなければならぬらしい。女狐は私を呼び出し、よりしろにこの土地を選んだ。故に、私はこの山門にのみ出現するサーバント。召喚者であるキャスターが滅びたところで、この山門がある限り消えることはない。
Alright then.
もっとも、それも日雇いに過ぎんがな。女狐が私に与えた魔力はおよそ20日分。その限度がいつか、お前ならば見て取れよ。
Are you going to get in our way then? The swordsman explains in a sing-song voice that enlists right on. In his elegant garment, his pale arm is transparent like glass.
あなたは
見ての通り、 夜明けまで持たぬ身だ。20日の刻限などとうに過ぎている。ここまで持ちこたえたことこそ行幸と言えよう。
She looks up at the swordsman in shock. His aura emits neither bloodlust nor hostility. He simply demands combat. He desires a pointless duel to death, irrespective of victory or loss. Hello, Batra.
では、私と戦うために残ったというのですか、アサシン。
言わせるな、セイバー。口にすればつまらぬ言葉になり下がる。
Assassin chuckles. Saber can understand the swordsman's reasons, but she doesn't have time for this. Unless she hurries, her allies will arrive while fighting Gilgamesh. No, in the worst case, they might arrive first and be forced to engage him without her.
そこをどけ、アサシン。あなたに門番を命じたキャスターは消えた。もはや門を守る意味などあるまい。
He's not guarding it. He's literally waiting here for you. He wants his fight to he wants his was it a salty run back? Did they fight before? They did fight before. Salty run back. Saber takes a step forward. However.
いいな。もとより私に戦う意味などない。
He declares that the duel will begin if she proceeds any further. The tip of his long katana is pointed at Saber.
そう、戦う意味などない。私には初めから何もないからな。英霊としての誇りも望むべき願いもない。いや、そもそも私が呼び出されたこと自体が間違いなのだ。何しろこの身は佐々木小次郎などではない。
Okay. Saber is extremely confused, as am I. Sasaki Kojiro. That should be the servant's true name. The assassin has just admitted that he's an imposter. He's sus.
そう驚くことでもあるまい。佐々木小次郎というものはな、もともと正体のない架空の剣士なのだ。実在したとされるが、記された記録はあまりに不鮮明。ある剣豪の敵役として都合が良い過去を捏造された。人々の記録だけで
Okay, but so is Saber. Saber isn't fucking real.
確かに佐々木小次郎という男はいただろう。物干し竿と呼ばれる長刀を持つ武芸者もいたはずだ。だがそれらは一個人のものではない。佐々木小次郎という剣士は引き立て役としてのみ作られた架空の武芸者であったはずだ。
架空の英霊ですが、あなたは。
そう、佐々木小次郎だ。佐々木小次郎というから、それを被るに最も適した剣士が私というだけの話だ。私に7度ない。読み書きなど知らぬし、名前を持つほど余裕のある人間ではなかった。私はただ記録にある佐々木小次郎の秘剣を披露できるという一点で呼び出された亡霊だ。偽りのサーバントであるこの身は長くは持たぬ。故にキャスターも使い捨てとして扱った。そら意味など初めからないだろう。たとえここで偉業を成したところで、報酬はすべて佐々木小次郎に与えられる。私には何も返ってこない。無である私にとってあらゆることは無意味だ。この身は自分すら定かではない。佐々木小次郎という役柄を演じるだけの名のない使い捨ての剣士に過ぎぬ。
The longsword swings. The swordsman created as a fictional character stands in Saber's way, prepared to fulfill his role.
だが、その私にも唯一意味があるとすれば、それは今だ。無名のまま死んでいった私に、もし望みがあったとしたら。
Then surely the nameless swordsman would have dreamed of facing a superior swordsman, something he was never allowed to witness in person. She takes up her sword. There is no persuading this foe. The only response to a swordsman ready to lay down his life is to beat him with steel. I mean, that's cool, but this is not really the time for your grudge match, my man.
元より花と散る好み。その最後、そなたで迎えられるのであらば、これ以上の幕はあるまい。
His long sword swoops through the air. Saber sword parries the moonlit blade. The katana suddenly changes direction. If she uses her strength against this man, she won't be strong enough to face Gilgamesh at the summit. But she also can't afford to hold back against Assassin. No. Can she even win if she goes all out against him? Well, she should be able to now. He's already admitted to being weaker. The katana attacks grow sharper with each swing. Fictional swordsman, a master of the sword, no noble phantasm who could fight on equal ground with heroic spirits. She must settle this duel with him now. That's kind of bad. The summit is close. We'll arrive at the back of the temple grounds once we climb this hill. There should be a large pond there, untouched by humans. Just like it climbs the slope, pushing the branches aside. Well, if Assassin is there, that means Gilgamesh is free to intercept us. Watch your back, keeping an eye on the surroundings. And then, just as the slope levels out into the flat ground, we come to face with him. He didn't look like this before, right? I mean, obviously he didn't look like that before, but like he didn't look like this before, right? I don't remember like mounds of flesh. It's a squirming hunk of flesh. The thing enshrined in the center of the pond seems to writhe and beg for help as it spews rotting black liquid around it. How big is that thing? The flesh hunk is slowly getting bigger. Looks like a floating island. The pond water looks muddy and sticky, as if it's an oil spill. I avert my gaze, feeling uncomfortable. We have been breathing in that thing's exhaust as we went through the forest. It endlessly spews out magical energy, polluting the pond. Its blood isn't colorless magical energy at all. The dark stuff is a visible curse. Even looking at the black mud gives me chills. The curse breaches my retinas. It hammers a single cold command in my brain. Stop it. The flesh hunk is about 30 meters away. The pond is shallow, so walking through the water shouldn't pose a problem, but pushing away through that black mud would be suicide. It's a curse that erodes the mind just by looking at it. If we go into it, we'll be weakened and drowned before we even walk a meter.
破裂寸前よ。元からああいう形なのかどうかは知らないけど、器があんまりにも小さすぎたんでしょうね。中のものを抑えきれず、器を壊して溢れ出ようとしてる。
器を壊すって、それは
神事が聖杯になってるなら、神事を壊すってことでしょうね。ほら、見える？あの山の奥、なんか人型らしきものがあるでしょ。
Oh, fuck shit, dude. I follow to Saka's line of sight. Then the rotting, growing flesh hunk. I do see something that looks vaguely human. Is he getting crucified? Torn clothes and a naked body. Ugly muscles ripple under the skin, connecting the body to a flesh hunk. It's like the shape is different. It's a bizarre image, like a bunch of grapes shaped into a human form.
顔は見えないけど、あの背格好は間違いない。
そう。で、生きてる。
I don't care if he's alive, fuck him. I don't know. He isn't dead, but I don't know if I can call him that alive.
息はある。体だってまだ。
I can't say that I see anything like human limbs.
やっぱりね。もともと今回の聖杯は人型だった。なら人間っていう部品を利用して動かすってことでしょ。神事は合わないからああなったみたいだけど、基本的に聖杯は宿主に生きていてもらわないと作動しない。
けどあれは破裂寸前なんだろう。核になっている神事を壊すって。
それは仕方なくよ。そうなったら聖杯も何もない。ただ聖杯によって開けられた穴からあの得体の知れないものが溢れてくるだけだから、逆に言えばまだ間に合うわ。聖杯は起動しているけど、願望機っていう本来の姿になってなければ壊れてもいない。あの金ピカは穴だけを開けるって言ってたでしょ。あいつの目的は聖杯を起動させて器だけ壊すことなのよ。そうすれば
今みたいにあの得体の知れない泥が際限なく溢れ出てくる。
There's no time to consider it. But pull Shinji out of the flesh hunt and stop the Holy Grail.
父さんか、あの泥なんとかできるか。凍らせちまえば上を歩けそうだけど。
無理。ただの水ならいけるけど、あれはもう呪いに加工された魔力なのよ。形になった魔術を凍らせるなんて、そんなの氷結専門の術者で難しいわ。
そうか。ならあとは
We'll just have to pray for good luck. The only option is to cross the pond before the curse corrupts us and extract Shinji.
そのままで行く気？無理よ。あなたじゃいいとこ真ん中で飲み込まれるってば。
What other choices there?
やってみなくちゃわからないだろう。もう時間がない。セイバーも今頃あいつと戦ってるはずだ。ここで躊躇している暇は。
I will around and move to protect Osaka.
これは驚いた。まさか三度もその不出来な顔を見るとはな。雑種。
Gilgamesh sneers at us. He appeared by the pond instead of the temple, as if he predicted our moves.
ギルガメッシュ？嘘。なら誰と戦ってるのよ、セイバーは。
Osaka's words indicate that Saber's engaged with someone other than an enemy at the moment. I don't know who that might be or how she ended up fighting him. There's no time to consider that right now. We're facing the worst possible first person possible. This is the strongest surfer from whom we were supposed to take down as a trio. And now he's here looking at us without Saber.
何？セーバーは不在か。つまらん。それではただ殺すだけか。
A terrible chill oozes from the sea of blood while bloodlust radiates from the man in front of us. Nova phantasms hang ready in wait behind him. One wrong move and obscure us.
いや、それでは芸がないな。本来なら有無を言わせぬが、今回は特別に許す。せっかくの客だ。そのせいにわずかばかりの猶予をやろう。
猶予だと。
My fingers tense up and I glare at the enemy. My magic circuits are open. I've wound up 14 blueprints, as many as I can manage. If he snaps his fingers, I'll replicate as many swords as I can. I should at least let Tosaka get away.
なんだ、言われなくてはわからんのか。眉が帰るまでの数分、そこでかかしになるがいい。あれも見届ける者が俺だけでは寂しかろ
う。What?
この行く末を最後まで見届けるというのなら、そのせいにも意味がある。
How can I listen to that? Our objective is to stop the Holy Grail. There's still some time we need to rescue Shinji from that flesh hunt.
そうかよ。悪いがこっちは。
あんたの言いなりになんてならない。今すぐあの日会に行って、あんたの聖杯を止めてやるわ。
Before I can finish, Tosaka takes the initiative. He stares down Gilgamesh. His lips twist into a smile. That last sounds like when someone decides to kill the person in front of them. I don't know why you would know that, but I guess you've gone through a lot for the past couple days.
待て、トサカ、それは。
シローはここであいつを止めて、 無茶だって分かってるけど、セイバーが来るまでなんとか持ちこたえて。シンジは私が責任を持って引っ張り出してくるから。
張り出してくるってお前。
分かってるわよ。あんなんでもさくらの兄貴だし、見殺しにはできないもの。それに助けられるのなら助けるのがシローの心情でしょ。
It's not my creed. Fuck Shinji. Tosaka starts to run towards the dark lake. Is she going to into that mud as is? Ew. Good laugh though.
なんだその滑稽さは。俺を笑い死にさせるつもりか、貴様ら。
That guy. He laughs condescendingly at Tosaka's determination.
何がおかしい。
なんだ。お前はおかしくないのか、雑種。とんだ三流どもだ。あの呪いの中を進むだと。サーバントですら耐えられぬ呪いの渦を人間風情が踏破できるとでも思ったか。
私の底を甘く見ないで。この程度の呪いで染まるほど弱くないわ。それにね、私たちはあんたみたいに反霊体ってわけじゃない。ちゃんと生身のある人間なんだから、むざむざ飲み込まれてたまるもんか。
He's obviously bluffing, but Tosaka might actually be able to get across if she says so. Like she said, Rin Tosaka isn't as so weak as to let a curse, to lose to a curse like that.
そうか。ならば好きにしろ。もっとも。俺はそんな真似は許さんがな。トレス。
A sharp sword shoots forward. The sword flies towards Tosaka's defenseless back to skewer her.
Off!
But it's instantly defected by my concho when I step in. I breathe heavily. Made it, although I had prepared myself. This is the first time I've been able to project so quick. It must be thanks to Tosaka's magical energy. At this rate, we might be able to... Murderous rage fills his red eyes. Our projection triggers him to get serious. The noble phantasm behind his back increased in number. Behind me, I hear Tosaka's concerned voice. I don't look back and I keep my eyes on the enemy with my concho at the ready.
Tosaka, Shinjiを頼む.
That's all I say to her.
任せて。すぐに連れ帰ってくる。
They have the sound of splashing water. Tosaka jumps into the sea of mud without hesitation. I'm going to protect her. I won't allow a single noble phantasm to reach Tosaka.
お前の相手は俺だ。Tosakaに手を出したかったら、まず俺を倒しやがれ。
I take a step forward. This was to take them off. The golden servant takes his eyes away from Tosaka and focuses on me.
あの小娘はのたれ死ぬ。俺が手を下すのはあくまで慈悲だったのだが。
A storm of noble phantasms poured towards me. He ignites his murderous intent like a sharp blade.
その前に貴様には思い知らせる必要があるようだ。薄汚い贋作者。その身をもって真偽の違いを知るがいい。
He deploys his own treasures without resolve. Okay, so we switch back to the thing to Saber and Assassin. Music is going in right now. A long sword slashes the darkness. Assassin freely wields his nearly 2-meter long sword, and Saber is still unable to step within range. She had avoided and falls back. The distance between the two sides does not shrink. There's 1 meter between Saber and Assassin, but the distance is enough to prevent Saber from even running up a few stone steps. She bites her lip. She doesn't have time for these skirmishes. Her opponent is typically someone she can best in strength. She could overpower him if she used the full amount of her magical energy in her sword. Just one blow. If she can withstand that one blow, she'll be able to hold him down. It can be an arm or a leg. If she doesn't show she's sustained a few scratches, there won't be another attack. The moment she receives that blow, she's confident she can step in Assassin's range and cut the enemy in two. Yeah. If that first blow manages to get her neck, there'd be no way to overpower him. That's the kind of blow that the servant in front of her can execute. There's no restraint, and there's always blows that are meant to take one's life. That's the only possible way to prevent that. That's the only possible way to prevent that is to retreat. She's at a positional disadvantage since she can't turn and attack from the side. The enemy skills prevent her from moving forward. Thus, she can't step forward. She needs to reach the temple compound alive. As she stands there, Shido and Rin are going up against Gilgamesh. If she's late, one of them will die. Or worse, two of them are already. She runs. She yells as if to dispel the ominous imagery that pops into her mind and rushes up the stairs. Two trajectories collide. Seeing her rush up with abandon, Assassin swings his sword that is Saber's body, but at the swinging sword down toward them.
ほう、さすがはセイバーの剣。数回程度ならば耐えられると思ったが、一撃で曲がるとは。
Sprites fly. They try to push each other out of the way as the sword and katana clash.
受けた。アサシンが私の剣を。
Assassin's katana is fragile. While the katana may be may be able to cut iron in two, it's still made by humans. It cannot compete against her sword, which is forged and created by non-humans. If struck from the front with force alone, the long katana will surely be shattered. Knowing this, Assassin made Saber retreat by parrying the sword and going after her body instead. But Assassin blocked her attack. No matter how well trained and how tenacious Assassin is, his katana would not be able to defend against Saber's blow. The longsword that caught Saber's blow is now bent at its core. At this rate, he can no longer maintain his sharp advantage. She asks herself as she pushes back Assassin's single katana. Her hesitation creates an opening. There's a reason her Assassin blocked her sword. Before she realizes that reason, she is standing in a particular position. She's standing in a different position. The two, who were once standing at the top and bottom stairs, are now level with each other. Without realizing it, Saber's body shifted to the side and she was forced to stand on a flat footing. This is a repeat of last time. They are standing level with each other, a suitable footing to wield the secret sword. Here, Assassin is able to execute his magical blade. Swallow reversal. Three arcing blades encircle the enemy, and the target has no chance of defending or evading, ensures the enemy is killed. Chill. A shudder from the chill running down her neck.
Assassin, Kisama.
Saber's strength leaves her. She can push back right now. As she's superior in strength, she can knock down Assassin and fish him up as she runs up to him. Or she can run up toward the temple gate. But the outcome was going to be the same either way. If she disengages, that thing was going to come. Even if she knocks him away, whether she rushes for the final blow or exposes her back and runs up the stairs, the magical blade will be released, and it will be over for her. That means she can't push forward. She can only let herself ease up and match Assassin's stare.
良いのか、力を弱めて。これならば、私の方からお前を弾き飛ばせるが。
Assassin looks at the corner saber with satisfaction. There is nothing callous in his mannerism. The swordsman with long katana is simply admiring the determined look of his opponent, who is seeking to recover from a humble situation.
このために自らの武器を傷つけたのか、アサシン。
無論、拉致が開かぬのでな、勝負をつけに来た。これならば、以前のお前に戻ろうと思ってな。果たし合いの最中に、後のことなど考えるな。
She holds her breath. Assassin's words tell her that he sees right through her, yet does not sound insulting. The compound is in flames. The sounds of swords clashing and breaking. There's no doubt it's the son of Gilgamesh and Shadow fighting.
どうやら縁も竹縄というところだな。こんなところで門前払いを受けている場合ではないぞ、セイバ
ー。アサシン。
Saber grips her sword tightly. She puts magical energy into the sword and attempts to repel the obstacle in front of her. But she can't. This very moment is her end. If she breaks the distance between herself and Assassin, she would be walking into Assassin's scheme. She grits her teeth in frustration. She wields her sword that is infused with magical energy, and she is unable to do anything. There.
何を迷う？お互いやるべきことは一つだろう。
The swordsman says it clearly.
アサシン。
もとより、我らは役割を果たすためだけに呼び出された。私がこの門を守るように、お前にも守るものがある。ならば、迷う隙などあるまい。それにな、セイバー。時間がないのは、お前に限った話ではない。
There is no pretense in his voice. This is the first and last time the fictional swordsman speaks the truth of his heart. His wish is to have a fight to the death. That is the swordsman's wish. His reward for getting summoned to this age and guarding the gate at this entire time.
失礼をした。確かに、お互い時間はない。
She releases the magical energy in her sword. The unrestrained power that gets released blows back Assassin. He goes back about 2 meters. She does not move, even though she is within Assassin's best range. She neither runs to the temple gate nor towards Assassin. She unleashes her seal. The sword is revealed and Saber confronts Assassin. There is no hesitation in her eyes. She will use her entire strength if need be. Her eyes declare that she will use all her strength to defeat the enemy in front of her. No words will be exchanged from now. The imaginary swordsman slowly readies his long katana. He readies his strongest sword technique against the greatest enemy of his life. She walks through the sea of rotten flesh. This lake is not even a meter deep. But the sticky mass of flesh has accumulated at the bottom, so she only sinks in knee deep. Ew. I concur, that's gross. She grumbles under her labeled breath. Every step she takes gives her chills, like she's stepping on a massive number of bugs. The rotting flesh that clings to her skin is a massively rotting flesh, and if she stops it, it will harden around her. She shakes them off with all her might and keeps going. There's no way someone can stay sane from wading through this content. After all this, slaughtering a cow should be a piece of cake. Kosaka thinks defiantly. That's why she's getting used to this. She's under so much pressure that she has to think that this is work, or else she wouldn't be able to move. But at least she won't sustain mental damage this way. But she can't endure this with just willpower alone. With each step forward, her body heat rises. The rotting flesh immediately invades her nerves, and the moment it touches her leg, even if she tries to push her away, the poison has already assaulted her body. It curses. The malice is tangible, and it's like a disease. One would fall ill if they touch it. It invades the nerves, robs the body of its strength, and boils the brain. Every step taken is a step closer to fatality. A normal person would stop moving after 2 steps and just fall in the pool of flesh. It's unknown what would happen afterwards. She doesn't want to think about if one suffocates or a semblance to become part of this fleshbound. She can't even think straight, given that she now has a fever of over 40 degrees. She's dying. Her feet and body threaten to fall over, but she pushes on, desperate to move forward. Rin didn't just jump in the pool of flesh without a plan. She has swallowed her 2 remaining precious jewels, and she's using all the magical energy she saved up to create defense film around herself. If the curse really is crystallization of pure magical energy, then she should be able to repel it by shrouding herself in strong magical energy. Her vision flares. Her assessment was correct, but it's way beyond the scope she imagined. The jewels she swallowed to put her defenses were no better than sheets of paper covering her. No human could go up against Kuda's corruption. There is nobody who can avoid getting engulfed in there. Here, her own strength was her only support system to survive.
もうこれなら火の上に飛び込んだ方が涼しいのに。
And actually, if she jumped into a sea of fire, it wouldn't affect her since she's protected by her gems. The moment she starts complaining, she gets angry at herself for even mentioning it and regains her vigor. That's not true. Even if it's not true, she can't crack a joke like that when dealing with something like this. Something like this. In her feverish state, she listens to the clash of swords behind her. She can't see the two anymore. Did Shiro lead the battle away, or was he driven into a corner? Either way, the battle between the two seems to have moved to the temple grounds. She runs. She's barely fast enough to walk, but she moves her feet anyway. She pushes through the decaying flesh. She breathes heavily as she reaches for lumps of flesh. She moves up crawling. She feels the mounds of flesh. She lets her body lean into the pulsating ground. This is much more disgusting, but the fever that invaded her nerves goes off rapidly. She puts her finger on the red ground. It's the same as the black mud, but it has a form. It's something that came out of the Holy Grail and took form using magical energy, an incarnation that should not exist in this world. She murmurs in amazement. She tries to make sense of it, but stops. Now is not the time. There's only one thing she needs to do. She gets up and runs up the mountain of flesh. The mountain of flesh is a floating island of 50 meters in diameter. She couldn't see it in its entirety from the bank of the lake, but the surface is folded over multiple times like a mountain range. It's gross! At the very depths, Shijimato is there, hidden among the flesh. They moved it here so they didn't have to make a new CG. To repel the incoming swords, there are more than 10 noble phantasms deployed. All of them shoot straight towards me like arrows. Take a quick drink of water. Throw away the swords that turn to dust and ready for the next attack. A single gulp of air, my labored breathing goes back to normal. When my breathing is labored, I can't do projection. Without a weapon, my body will get skewered. This isn't a battle against that guy. A battle against myself. The moment my projection speed and accuracy go down, that's when I disappear.
Ha! Sora! Yasundeiru hima wa nai zo!
I respond to his voice in a straight sword that I've never seen before it points towards me. It makes a loading sound and shoots towards me with lethal speed. I'm unable to deflect the full impact, then I fall to the ground on my back. Quickly roll over to the side, stand up, and regain my stance.
どうした？質が落ちているぞ。わずか一撃で壊れるようでは複製とは言えんな。
Scornful laugh. He's obviously enjoying this. If he releases all noble phantasms behind his back at once, there's no way I can defend myself. But he's only shooting them off one by one, holding back to test the limits. But I'm lucky that it's happening now. Despite Tasaka's backing me up, it's difficult for me to project after only seeing the opponent's weapon. I can only replicate its appearance. I can't construct its inner abilities, which is why they get destroyed after a single hit. The guy said I'm the only one who could beat him. But this is all I have to do. I can only defend myself from his double phantasms. I can't rush it to attack. 2, I need at least 2 weapons. I'm having trouble with just 1. So how the heck am I supposed to project 2 weapons at the same time?
どうした？歯ごたえがあるのは口先だけか、フェイカー。
He must like seeing me roll around as he looks entertained. I catch my breath. Things are fine as long as he's enjoying this. As long as he's acting that way, there's still a chance for me to win. Direct my mind to look inside. It's only a few circuits. There. I mentally line up all the blueprints I can imagine. I visualize 17 noble phantasms. I analyze the internal structure based on the outward appearance, and I draw out the concept of creation to choose the composition of material. Pop up blood. Paying the price for putting multiple blueprints inside a circuit, it's usually I can only handle 1 or 2. Since I started using projection, my nerves have become damaged and my body has started to crumble from the inside. Blood pools in my stomach, and my esophagus is working like a pump, like a pump to expel the blood from my body. Yeah, you have internal bleeding. You're dead. I swallow those down and continue my process. Sancho and Byako can't block this noble phantasm. If only I had Archer's swordsmanship, I could probably defend myself with twin swords, but I don't have that kind of skill. There's only one way for my inferior swordsmanship to prevent these noble phantasms. I just have to offset using the same exact noble phantasm, of course. I still have enough magical energy. Looks like the supply has been more than enough. My magic circuits moving that energy are on the verge of corrosion. My aim is near. The moment the guy gets serious, I'll have to project the same amount of noble phantasm he deploys, or else I won't survive. At the same time, my body will definitely be destroyed if I project that much. I save the images flowing in my mind. The swords that I tried to go outside will actualize as I imagined and pierce me from within. If my burned out circuits can't control it, the swords inside me will shoot out and I will literally be a pincushion.
ほう、今度は多いな。10、15、17。そうか。目に見える我の宝具をすべて複製したわけか。なめるな。魔術師の手の内など看破できなくて何が英霊か。お前に働く魔術の数など、それこそ手に取るようにわかる。
His line catches me off guard. Is the king of heroes who possesses thousands of treasures trying to say that he can perceive our magecraft just by looking at us?
では採点だ。最もいかに成功であろうと、一本たりとも世には残さんが。
I reacted too late. I was distracted by his words and created a fatal delay on my part. 17 noble phantasms are shut out. A portion of the king's treasure rains out like an avalanche, telling me that the king is done playing around. My body wavers. The swords that shoot out from within me collide with the ones shooting towards me, and the impact shakes everything around. I can't block them all. Even if I project 17 nimble phantasms, I can only give form to them one at a time. Even if they are consecutive, I can only deploy them one at a time. On the other hand, my opponent is able to shoot them all at once. I've been no match from the get-go.
ガラス細工にしてはよく持つが、それもあと数撃か。そうだ、急いで真似ねば八つ咲きだぞ。
I hear him taunt over the flashing swords. 12 more enemy nimble phantasms.
ことごとくこうよな。俺には勝ち得ないと考え、聖杯だけでも取り外す判断は正しい。お前では我にはかなうべくもない。
My fingertips are burning. The magical energy I emit and the heat from the colliding noble phantasms mercilessly burn at my fingertips. 7 more noble phantasms left.
それならばあの男を殺してしまえばよかろう。聖杯を止めたいのであれば神事を始末することこそが確実だ。魔術師であるお前たちならばあの泥を越えずとも殺しようはあったろう。だというのにまだ救おうというその偽善、まさに雑種の具現よな。
I'm waiting for all of these circuits to light up. Like all of them. It's going to break. My circuits are going to burn out completely. It's not enough. I'm no match against this man with my measly circuits. Damn. Why can't I block him? The guy said I could win, but this isn't even a contest right now. So does that mean I'm making some sort of mistake? 3 nimble phantasms left. I don't know if my body can hold on until I block them all. No, what I need to be thinking about right now is the difference between my blades and Archie's blades. In that moment, all of my senses freeze. I don't even look at the remaining 3 nimble phantasms. I'm focused on the golden serpent pulling out a sword. A strange sword. My mind goes blank at the moment I see what looks to be a stone pillar.
女を救うと言ったな、小僧。
His taunting voice echoes with the roar of the sword. I eliminate 3 remaining blueprints in my circuit and rapidly try to read his sword. And yet... Until now, I have been able to read every sword, but I can't read the construction of that sword.
ならば見せてみろ。その贋作で一体何が救えるのかを。
The wind creates a fault. The slashing winds released from Gilgamesh's sword push away his own noble phantasms and hit towards me. My mind is still blank. I can't come up with any countermeasures, so I just release the remaining magical energy within me.
いざ。
Swordsman told... I thought we were just gonna come back after this part was over. The swordsman holds up his sword. An unknown imaginary stands from an unknown imaginary man. He readies his fatal technique that cuts his enemy, simultaneously executing blows from different angles. She's experienced that attack before. The previous one only attacked in a circular motion and a vertical axis. That was why she was able to avoid it and manage to survive. But the true technique is said to have 3 trajectories. A circular vertical slash and probably a horizontal slash that cuts anyone who tries to escape sideways. If all 3 of those were to be released simultaneously, there is no escape. Once in range, the other 2 attacks will hit even if one is blocked. Escaping sideways is impossible, and the long katana will be able to make contact if the target tries to retreat back. Magical sword, swallow reversal. Divine technique that suppresses even the powers of servants. This is the ultimate technique an unknown swordsman put his entire existence into perfecting. The long katana wavers. He steps in to reduce the distance between the opponents. a distance close enough to cut down Saber. From a distance that does not allow any defense, a constructing trajectory is unleashed. Saber is not going to use her sacred sword. To begin with, she can't use her noble phantasm from this distance the two are at. No matter how fast Saber's sacred sword may be, Assassin's swallow reversal is much faster. Her head will surely fly while she tries to put magical energy into her sword. Thus, the only thing she can do is rely on her sword skills. The blade's arc begins to move in. Even though this is her second time seeing it, its precision and speed are astonishing. How much training did she do to be able to execute an attack like that? At that moment, Saber could only shudder. The attack cannot be blocked. This magical sword is a man's attempt at challenging the gods and Buddha. Nobody but a god would be able to prevent or parry the attack. She holds her breath. In the back of her mind, there is a faint spark as small as a grain of sand. She doesn't think of what that is or if it's the right thing to do, but she risks everything on that one instinctual inspiration. She charges forward. She charges toward that victory with all she has. What's the fictional swordmaster thinking seeing that? The silver armor slips through between the gaps of his arms. Under the swordsman's left elbow, between his waist and arm, she must have seen that the slightest gap was the magical sword's blind spot. So this is one of those instances where instead of going on the back on the defense and backing away, you defend by going forwards. While her armor gets chipped away by the three blades that come flying, Saber curls herself up against curls herself up and rushes towards the one at one point. Her prediction, her outstanding intuition, allows her to execute that exquisite skill. She was able to foresee the complete form of the magical sword, which is yet to be seen, because she had experienced the incomplete swallow reversal once. However, that is not the surprising thing. What truly kept her alive was her determination. She trusted that momentary spark, and put all of those abilities into a momentary gap. She shook off the fear that she might get cut up into pieces if she was even slightly delayed, and ran through the gap that was impossible to pass. And thus, her determination was what managed to defeat the magical blade. But the match is not over. Avoiding the swallow reversal puts her enemy right next to her, and her lunge outpaces the swordsman's draw. The position is not easy to recover from. The long katana flies. The recoiling blade is quick, even if it may not be as quick as the demonic blade, and yet her attack slightly outperforms and is faster than the swordsman's. He purses his lips. He closes his lips tightly and strains to keep himself from collapsing. The blood that flows back from his gut fills his mouth, but he swallows it, determined not to spit it out. The golden-haired knight stands before the swordsman. The swordsman's code does not allow him to do something like defile his opponent, and her brilliance with the explosion from his innards. Saber says nothing. Strands of her golden hair flutter on the stone stairs. It's a wonder her head is still attached. It's a miracle that her wounds were not sheared off. She thought her body would be cut in four the instant she went into that opening. There was only one factor that made the difference. Swordsman's long katana. Had his blade not been bent, his magical sword would have surely been invincible. The air is rumbling. Another battle is still going behind the temple gate. Saber does not know what to say as she looks up from the dying swordsman. To that. Okay. The swordsman says without looking at her. How much meaning is contained within that single word? Saber draws her sword and runs up the stairs with all her might. She doesn't turn back towards the swordsman. She simply runs to fulfill her role.
美しい小鳥だと思ったのだがな。その実、獅子の類であった。
He mutters, and the swordsman laughs, realizing it was inevitable. He avoided something that even a swallow could not avoid, and thus she was not an object to be admired or loved.
女を見る目には自信があったのだが、どちらも修行不足ということか。
The swordsman complains with a shrug. His form and his elegant howdy were starting to fade. His spear's stomach and his blood-stained feet become faint. Yet, he looked at his situation unconcerned and sat down on the stone table. Trees rustle. The wind coming down from the top of the mountain shake the forest. By the time the flowers scatter, the birds disappear, the wind stops, and even the moon in the sky fades. The swordsman who was just there disappears without a trace, as if its existence was just an illusion. In that instant, I deployed the strongest weapon out of all of the items I've ever replicated, but it won't even work as a shield against what is presented before me. The Sword of Rupture. The mysterious sword that cuts through the wind, annihilates 6 noble phantasms, and separates my body. It's disappearing. Berserker gets disconnected, and the magical energy from the sutei has nowhere to go back. Has nowhere to go but back. I cursed my inadequacy. I knew I was inexperienced, but I seriously cursed myself for never really thinking of the implications of how this would affect me. Why did I have so few magic circuits? If only I had a little more. If only I had a little more and reached beyond the darkness a bit, I could have fought him like I could have fought like him. I fall to the ground. I can't soften the impact and fly dozens of meters away, falling violently on my back. There's no pain from the impact. I lost all sensation. Even my mind goes white and blank. Right before I head towards death, my last thought is how amazed I am that my limbs are still attached.
そこまでか。やはり偽物は偽物だったな。お前では何も救えない。
My heartbeat gets weaker. My lungs are not moving and my trachea is frozen.
これならば、
frozen.
アーチャーが残った方が楽しめた。奴も贋作者だったが、その理念は俗物ではなかったからな。
The fact that I can't see isn't because my eyes are damaged. Right now, everything inside me is messed up, and my body has ceased to function properly. Maybe I would consider that to be fortunate. I've forgotten all sensation of pain, and I should be able to die easily at this rate.
ああ、そういえば奴も言っていたな。お前の理念は借り物だと。自身から生み出したものが一つとしてない男が何かをなそうなどと、よくも思い上がれたものだ。
I was wondering about this. I don't think I ever actually stated it, but can projection create something that doesn't exist if you have the ability, if there's an ability to create something? I can't let that happen. Even if the pain causes me to be brain dead if I come to my senses, I tell myself I need to regain consciousness and stand out. My deeply rooted psyche is pointing to a certain place and it's telling me something.
正義の味方？誰も傷つかない世界だと？おかしなことを。誰も傷つかず幸福を保つ世界などない。人間とは、犠牲がなくては生を謳歌できぬ獣の名だ。平等という綺麗事は闇を直視できぬ弱者のざれ事に過ぎぬ。雑種。お前の理想とやらは、醜さを覆い隠すだけの言い訳に過ぎん。
Raise my arm, even though it shouldn't be able to move. My body is on the ground and my consciousness is on the brink of death. I raise my arm to grab onto something, like I did that fateful day. I don't know what's funny, but someone's laughing. A high-pitched laughter that assaults my ears sounded like everyone in the entire world was laughing. A fake wish. Call it ideal. The dream won't come true, someone sneers. Yeah, they're right. These thoughts of mine are borrowed. I just admired the wish to help someone because I thought it was beautiful. It's nothing that came from me. I was always driven by the curse-like obsession that my body needed to be for someone else. That's why it's fake. Such hypocrisy will save nothing to me. First of all, I don't even know what needs to be saved. But I also still feel that it's beautiful. The concept did not come from me. I just saw someone save someone else and mimicked it. On that day, I was empty inside. Everyone died indiscriminately and I couldn't save anyone. I couldn't suppress my terror at that sight that was unraveling before me. I had no choice but to resign myself to the fact that humans are weak. That's why I admired that ideal. I cried at the preciousness of it because I didn't have it myself. Is that wrong? Is it fake because because it's not my own feelings? Is it wrong for that wish to come true if it's fake? No, I don't think it's wrong. I don't care if it's fake. Even that unattainable idea just needs to be fulfilled. It was a dream that couldn't be granted from the start, an unreachable utopia. Then, even if Shirome is a fake, the thing that is there is undeniably real. I know I can't save everything. I know that there's no salvation without sacrifice. Now that I'm an adult, I understand that that's reality. Despite knowing that such a thing was only an ideal, I continue to seek for it. It doesn't end when someone gets hurt. Even if the best outcome is for someone to get hurt in order to save many, I'm still going to seek a version of happiness where nobody gets hurt. There's no justice in this world. The reality is that people keep dying for nothing, but I don't think resigning to that idea is right. And in the end, he reached this place. What he believes. What he believed. He said they were all hypocrisy. But the one who said that followed through on his hypocrisy to the end. Knowing that, I can keep going. Even if I borrowed his ideas, even if I'm going to stay a fake, I don't care. I don't have such complicated feelings that I have to worry about too much in the first place. I thought to myself on the Hill of Swords, if I could save just the world that I could see, I'll fight for it. I didn't even have to think about it. Our world is small. This small world is all I have ever been able to create. That's right. This body of mine is made of solid swords. That's why I'll be able to endure most things. I can stick to my dreams until the very end. Even the wear and tear over the years. And even at the end. None of what I sought was there. I get up. The moment I regain consciousness, my limbs move. My body still moves after I get up with great force. It's a wonder I'm not only alive, but able to stand up after the swords blow. But it doesn't matter. If I'm alive, there must be a reason why. It's something that I just have no control over.
直前に盾を敷いたのか。出し惜しんだとはいえ、致命傷だったはずだが。存外にしぶといな、小僧。
出し惜しみ？そんだけ山ほど持っておいて、今さら何を惜しむってんだ？
I steady my breath while keeping my distance. I know how to do it now. Sure, I can do it with 2 seconds backup. Problem would be my casting time. I may have memorized it, but I don't know how fast I can get it to work for me unless I try.
今のは覇者にのみ許された剣だ。今日が乗ったゆえ見せてやったが、本来雑種などに使うものではない。エアと打ち合う権利を持つ者はセイバーだけだ。お前のような偽物に使ってはセイバーに合わせる顔がない。
Numerous noble phantasms appear. All of them are third-rate weapons. After seeing the sword I just saw, the difference is obvious. But those weapons are still not to be taken lightly. Normally, they would be more than enough to kill me. Difference is that what's a scythe in the background? That's like a real scythe too. You guys can't see him. It's behind. It's the one not touching Gilgamesh's back. That's a scythe. It also looks like he has the sword that the assassin had. The rest of these I don't really recognize. I mean, Epilogue is right there, and it looks like the one closest to him looks like Excalibur. Differences in our strength has not changed. Even though I'm Rex to survive that last attack, I have no match against that server, but just my projection.
ほう、真似事はおしまいか。ようやく無駄と分かったらしい。ならば潔く消えるがいい。偽物を作るその頭蓋、一片たりとも残しはせん。
The floating noble paint systems are deployed. Then, a gust of blue wind intervenes between us. Gilgamesh instantly jumps back. Even Gilgamesh is cautious against Saber. Seeing as his swordsmanship is inferior, he probably wants to avoid hand-to-hand combat with Saber.
よかった。無事ですか、シロ。遅くなりました。あとは私が受け持ちます。シロは離れて。
いや、ギルガメッシュは俺一人で何とかできる。離れるのはそっちだ、セイバー。
何を言うのです、シロ。その体で彼の相手をすると。いえ、そもそも魔術師ではサーバントには太刀打ちできない。それはあなたもよく知っているでしょう。
ああ、けど俺とあいつだけは例外だ。信じろ。俺はきっとあいつに勝てる。
Saber gasps. Saber's surprised because she believes what I'm saying.
セイバーは境内の裏に急いでくれ。遠坂が一人で聖杯を止めてる。けどあれを壊せるのはセイバーだけだ。
A few seconds, no, not even a second passed. After she tightly closed her eyes once.
ご武運を。リンは私が必ず。
Just is exactly what I want to hear and steps away from Gilgamesh. The silver armor turns away. Call out to her just once.
お前を救うことが俺にはできなかった。
Say it. I'm going to try to tell her and I say it. I'm going to try to tell her on behalf of the times I spent with her and the times he spent thinking of her.
あの聖杯はお前が望んでいるものじゃないと思う。だからよく見極めておくんだ。次は決して間違えないように。
シロ。
ごめん、うまく言えない。俺はお前のマスターにはふさわしくなかったんだろう。だから
I didn't even find out what she really wanted.
そんなことはない。シロは私のマスターだ。
セイバ
ー。サーバントとして責務を果たしてきます。伝えたいことはその後に。
He runs off without turning back. Her gallant appearance is like a gust of wind. Saber left. Without the slightest doubt, she believed my words when I said I would beat my opponent, and left to save Tosaka. Alright, big Zo. From here on, there is no room for hesitation. All I need to do is defeat the enemy in front of me.
正気か貴様。ただ一つの勝機を逃し、あの小娘を助けさせるだと。たわけめ。自らを犠牲にする行為など全て偽りに過ぎぬ。それを未だ悟れぬとは筋金の入った偽善者だ。ああ、それだけは称えてやろう、小僧。
There's no more phantasms deployed. There's less than 30 of them. If I want to block them, I'll just have to create them.
贋作、偽善者か。別にそういうのも悪くない。確かに俺はフェイカーだからな。
Raise one of my arms. Close one eye and turn my mind to look within.
勘違いしてた。俺の剣聖っていうのは剣を作ることじゃないんだ。そもそも俺には そんな器用な真似なんてできっこない。
That's right. Kosaka told me this. I can only use one kind of magecraft. Strengthening and projection are just byproducts of what I actually do.
俺にできることはただ一つ。自分の心を形にすることだけだった。
I turn. I grab my outstretched right arm with my left hand and glare at Gilgamesh.
体は剣でできている。
I use it in Japanese. Say the spell. Casting is only a method of suggesting a change for oneself. These words were naturally there to connect me.
そうか。よまいごとはそこまで。
Numerous noble phantasms were released. I create. That's why I have one eye open. I drag out a shield from the hill to block the oncoming noble phantasms. Swarm of swords strike wildly. The shield is Shido Amiya, myself. The 7-petal shield cracks and my body chips away with every fracture. Don't think I didn't notice that was the thing that Archer used against Lancer. There's only one place I need to reach. Power that surges forth immediately fills me to capacity. What is he so surprised about? Is he so shocked that his treasure can't even penetrate my single shield? Or is he surprised by the rush of magical energy?
ただの一度の敗走もなく、ただの一度の勝利もなし。
It's going to break. The surging magical energy can't be suppressed. 10 units of magical energy filling a single magic circuit break the foundation to find release. My blood flows backwards. The shield is full of holes. Even if his noble phantasm do not reach me, my body is full of holes already. And yet,
担い手はここに一人。剣の丘で鉄を打つ。
magical energy rages out of control. But I don't care. My body is a circuit that solely exists to use a certain magecraft and that magecraft alone. So there should be something beyond that. There should be something beyond that if I can't make it with the circuit. No, even now it's there. It's just not visible. There were no circuit limitations from the very beginning. If what was preventing me was not a wall but darkness, then the limit is somewhere beyond the darkness.
我が生涯に意味はあります。
10 units of magical energy are filling a single magic circuit, break the foundation to find release. Now we use 100 circuits to take in 1,000 units of magical energy.
この体は無限の剣でできていた。
I say its true name. In that instant. There it is! Everything shatters and regenerates. Flames rush. The fire becomes a wall that creates a boundary and changes the world. A wasteland follows. A hill with countless swords in disarray reveals itself before me. How did this place look to that guy? The golden servant simply stands there with a seething look on his face and confronts his enemy.
剣を作るんじゃない。俺は無限に剣を内包した世界を作る。それだけがエミやシロに許された魔術だった。
A desolate world. A graveyard, but there is no living creatures, only swords. In this world where swords get replicated just by looking directly at them, every single sword in existence is here. This is Shido Amiya's world. A reality marvel. The greatest forbidden magecraft that materializes the caster's mental world. This is the heroic spirit of Mia's noble phantasm, and the only weapon I possess. Everything is here, and nothing is here. That's why it's called unlimited bloody works. As someone who lived his whole life as a sword, it's the only definite and tangible answer he was able to attain.
こういう結界、それが貴様の能力か。
I take a step forward, surrounding me are the swords that were floating beneath him.
驚くことはない。これは全て偽物だ。お前の言う取るに足らない存在だ。
I stretch out my arms. The swords struck the ground. The swords that stuck in the ground come out easily as if accepting me as their will.
偽物が本物にかなわないなんて道理はない。お前が本物だと言うなら、ことごとくを凌駕して、その存在を叩き落とそう。
I step forward. In front of me is a servant who possesses thousands of treasures.
行くぞ英雄王。武器の貯蔵は十分か。
はっ、思い上がったな、雑種。
The enemy opens his gate and deploys numerous noble phantasms. I charge through their wasteland. Here, the two different groups of swords begin their final clash. The first thing Saber sees after taking a detour into the temple grounds and reaching the lake is a massive lump of meat. She's not like any other knight. She fought many kinds of monsters when she was called a hero. She's even fought Dragonkin, famed to be the strongest of the Phantasmal species. And even Saber can only falter at that lump of meat. It is not because of how unsightly it is. It's because she can tell that the curse is released from that shape. That lump of meat is the same as herself.
召喚を間違えれば、サーバントとはあそこまで変わるものなのか。
Or is it the power of the Holy Grail? She stares at the lump of meat, stunned, and shakes her head.
リン、どこにいるのです、リン。
She runs to the lake and yells to the lump of meat on the opposite shore. She's hesitant to enter the black bed inside the lake. It's not because it's unpleasant. Her instincts tell her that she cannot touch it as a servant who is half spirit. She hears a voice calling. It's faint, but she hears her master's commands. She looks closely and searches in the lump of meat. She steps forward without hesitation. Saber's body stops. She retreats and stares at the lump of meat while readying her sword.
いいからダメ。その泥に触れたらあなただってこうなるわよ。いいからセイバーはそこで宝具の準備をして。この塊はもうすぐ弾けるわ。その前に宝具でぶった切っちゃって。
Saber cannot nod to her master's tense voice. She can tell that the lump of meat is broken. She can tell that the lump of meat is about to hatch. The squirms turn into grobs, and the quantity of mud spat out continues increasing. The lake turns black, and the black blood is overflowing onto the ground. That thing is growing. The world restraining power will be activated if the thing is left alone. It is natural for her to destroy it with her sacred sword before that happens. Do that.
外に池にさえ出てしまえば、あとは私が。
よね。オッケー、任せた。けどもし間に合わなかったら、間に合う方を取って。セイバーとの契約は切れちゃうけど、シローが無事ならなんとかなるでしょう。
バカなことを。構いません。何に変わろうが、このような呪い蹴散らして。
Saber runs into the black light, heading towards the lump of meat. But her body does not move. Her body stops just when she tries to go near the lake.
令嬢。
当然でしょう。聖杯を壊せる唯一の人材をむざむざ死なせるわけにはいかないもの。それに心配無用だってば。この程度簡単に振り切って逃げ出すから。セイバーはそこで大船に乗ったつもりで政権の準備をしてなさい。
The thought that she commands are full of composure as always. But needless to say, it's just a bluff. The lump of meat on the opposite shore. Her master that is there has nowhere to run.
なんてね。まあ言うはやすしってやつだけど。
She murmurs while being surrounded by strange arms made out of meat. The situation is hopeless. Shinjimato was saved. She ripped off the blood vessels and nerves which had melted into his whole body and took him out of the lump of meat. One could say he's alive if one turns a blind eye to the after effects he may have. No, although he has fainted, one could say that he's better off than the girl carrying him.
問題はその後か。そりゃ心臓取られちゃ暴れるわよね。シンジを返せば見逃してくれるかな、これ。
She slowly goes outside while staring at the tentacles blocking her way. But there is no exit. The tentacles are already blocking the way out to the lake. Even if she were to escape the tentacles that are trying to wrap around her and swallow her whole, she wouldn't be able to break through the part that has become the wall.
まず力が。
She almost falls along with Shinjimato and holds out with her might. Going past the cursed sea, crossing the floating island of meat, she even performed neurosurgery to separate Shinjimato from the lump of meat. At this point, this girl's magical energy had even broken into the reserve tank that she had not been used for a long time.
もうあのバカ、遠慮なしで人の魔力持ってくんだから。おかげでこっちはもうすっからかんじゃない。
She bears the dizziness as she complains. Of course, she didn't mean it. She was just saying that. Besides, things wouldn't change even if she had magical energy left. The tentacles surrounding the girl have stopped because their prey is docile. Once they figure out that the only thing that has invaded their body is poisonous, they'll take immediate action. Rin Tosaka and Shinjimato are alive because she does not have enough magical energy left for them to prey on.
けどここまでかな。いい加減立ってるのも辛く。
Her vision goes hazy. Although she's able to get a foothold, that does not change how she's still on mud. Heat is encroaching on her nerves by the second. If she falls onto the platform of meat, she herself will become the core of the Holy Grail at this time. For that,
ごめんねセイバー。言うこと聞かないだろうから無理やり聞かせる。
there's one command spell left. That is enough to make Saber standing. Why is there only one command spell left? Did she use a command spell before? She made a contract with Saber. They fought. Archer took Rin. Why does she only have one command spell left? There's enough to make Saber standing on by on the opposite shore use her sacred sword.
あと、あんたにも謝っとかないと。シンジ、助けられ。
Why did you want to? Fuck this dude.
いいから走れ。そのような泣き言、聞く耳持たん。
Eh? Her body that is about to collapse stops. That voice, the thoughts coming to her mind instead of her ears, those of a servant that she had made a contract with. She has no time to be bewildered. She knows his personality well. He told her to run, so he must have done something that she wouldn't be able to escape from if she did run. She runs through. The arrows that rain from the sky are like a downpour. She smashes everything that gets in her way, whether it's a net, platform, or tentacles of meat. There's no time to look back. She runs through with all of her might while carrying Shiji back home. She jumps into the lake. The arrows have swept the way for her to escape route. In just a short time, the black mud is being repelled, and only dirty water loose at the shore. She runs across the lake while carrying Shiji Baton. Why are we saying his full name? She runs to the shore, soaking wet with latent energy that shocks even her. Her magical energy replies to the screaming voice. There is no need to check. The golden sword is raised, and with overwhelming firepower, mows down everything in its sight. The mountain of meat is cut in half and collapses. The black light evaporates, and the band of light changes the lake itself into a flat wasteland. It is a rapid stream of light that emanates everything. In the midst of that, the swordsman accepted the end of her battle.
これで終わり。私の戦いはここまでです。
Who is that addressed to? The wielder of the sacred sword goes to her knees and gazes at the light with a flood of emotions. The trembling Holy Grail. The thing that she sought, the thing that was supposed to save her. She destroyed it with her own hands, and the King of Knights finally realized her mistake. One boy and one hero. That man who become twisted at the end of his ideal that held it for a long time is still a boy. His regrets are so heavy that they cannot be carried, and his sins are so deep that they cannot be atoned for. There is something that did not give up on. At the very end, the knight in red has reached an answer that no one can affect. Then, she has to move forward as well. In her last moment, wounded, she took her hands off the sword. I think that's something else that I didn't see.
契約は完了した。あなたたちの勝利だ、リン。
She will run past the hill with her own will, is what that said. The sacred sword fades. There is still magical energy left. She can stay in this world if she pushes herself. If possible, she will have to watch over what waits until the end.
ですが、それは私の役割ではない。シローにはリンがついていますから。
The knight's body continues to fade until it vanishes, engulfed by the light. Like a graceful gust of wind, you couldn't say goodbye? The knight who sought the Holy Grail sets off for the Hill of Destiny without leaving a single memory behind. Also, doesn't this only stop the Holy Grail until the next Holy Grail War? I wanted to ask that last time too. I master repeated attacks from the longsword with the longsword. Swords offset each other and the fragments are sent flying into the atmosphere. The handle of a curved sword appears behind me. Master, pull out the curved sword at his feet and swing it straight at him. Gilgamesh retreats. Close the distance at once. Pull out the sword and slash him. Match my sword to the rapid successions of noble phantasms. I'm not thinking. My body and mind will stop if I stop. I will keep moving forward now. The instant I see this noble phantasm, I real the same one that I've had at hand. And strike him down with all my might. The sounds of clashing swords echo through the area. He cannot handle my attack and has to destroy my weapon with his. That would be the cause of his defeat. And over 1,000 noble phantasms, he is the greatest heroic spirit without a doubt. But he is no more than an owner. He's not a wielder. He's not a wielder who only has one noble phantasm, but he's able to use to his full potential. If my opponent was another servant, I would not be able to match them even if I made a sword like this. Even if I have infinite swords, I can't beat the enemy with a single phantasm. I'm sure Gilgamesh would be able to, but I don't have enough physical ability to. Therefore, the only servant that I can close in on is this man. If you have the same ability in both opponents, I'll go a step ahead of him since I already have swords prepared. Gilgamesh raises his arm. hope that appears behind him is that demonic sword. The only sword that does not exist in this world. I swing my twin swords. I immediately draw Kanchon Byakuya from and cut off his arms as it reaches for the magic sword. His weapons come to a halt. He loses his best sword and is left completely defenseless. Body acts the right thing. With victory assured, my arms and legs drive me into the King of Heroes space even more sharply and sharply slice his body in two. He jumps back. Gilgamesh retreats, barely dodging my twin swords. Gilgamesh admits his defeat and tries to retreat. I'll lose if he regains composure. To settle this match at this moment before this heat down. He must have realized that he would not be able to escape as he pulls out his noble phantasm from behind him with his remaining arm. Not faster. Meanwhile, I'll surely.
Nani?
The voices overlap. The change is instant. The flash of light coming from the lake eliminates the Hill of Swords. The massive magical energy wiped away the already disappeared reality marble. That's fine. The match is settled. I can defeat the servant with just swinging these twin swords. But after that, a black hole. A round void big enough to swallow a human whole. It appears before me. Gilgamesh's body. Gilgamesh looks down on his body appalled. His body is being swallowed. The golden servant is being swallowed up by a hole that has opened up inside of him. What the fuck is happening? Did you want to say wait? Void mercilessly swallows the servant. There's no way for him to escape. The void was open in his own body, after all. There's no way he can escape from something like that. And there's something that is in his body. Yeah, what the fuck was that? I stand there dumbfounded. The void in front of me gets smaller by the moment. I don't know what this is, but it seems like Tosaka and Saber were able to destroy the Holy Grail. My only guess is that this black void appeared from the effect that from that effect and vanished. But why? Everything is over. The twin swords disappear. Magical energy occupying my body rapidly fades, and at the same time, fatigue assails me. I want to go see how Tosaka's doing right away, but my body won't move. Well, I'm sure she's doing fine since Saber went with her. I can rest a bit. The moment I take a deep breath, the chain wraps around my arm. My breathing stops. The chain that mercilessly wrapped around my arm pulls me towards the black hole. I put strength in my limbs, but I can't resist at all. My feet slide towards the void along with this very ground that I planted. The thing crawling out of the void was definitely him. But that body has melted here and there. The void must melt anything it swallows. Try to pull the chain off of me, but it doesn't budge. The chain restrained even berserkers. That's something I could take off to no matter how hard I try. Getting drawn in. I'll be swallowed like him if I go near that void. He's so arrogant even in a situation like this. What should I do? I can't get the chain off no matter what I do. I'll fall into this void with him like this. Cut your arm off! Even if I hold down, he'll pull himself out then. Means I'm going to die either way. Bullshit, I'm not going that easily. I feel dizzy. My body can't hold out any longer. I'm going to die. I can't endure it to the very end. And if I can't endure it anyway, should I loosen up? If I do so, I should at least be able to push it back to the void. What just happened? Something happened. Are we gonna adjust my weakening limbs? Will my arm tear off first? Will his chain rip off first? Or will he crawl out first? Just cut your arm off. It doesn't matter. I'll fight until the very end and die a very flashy death.
お前の勝手だが、その前に右に置けろ。
I turn around immediately. I look at the temple grounds in the distance, which has become a wasteland. Something flies by, as if brushing past me. Boom! Headshot! The chain comes off. In the end, looking like he saw something unexpected, he lets go of the chain of heavens. I fall on my ass. The void shrinks to the size of my palm and it vanishes as I look on dumb. Unable to even stand, I look at the wasteland behind me. Dawn is near. The one with the rising sun behind him is the knight wearing the red cloak. Okay, but how are you here? Didn't you die in front of us? Didn't you literally turn to dust or some shit? I subconsciously complain. I can't help but smile happily. I have nothing I want to say, so I'll keep quiet so that I can sleep. The golden ground had become a wasteland. Seeing the knight stand there and Tosaka running to him, I lie down on the ground. Tosaka should say everything I want to say to him on my behalf. So I'll just sleep for now. I'm sure we'll end up fighting if we see each other again, and I'm not used to synchroning it myself. And for the final time, I engraved my ideal into my mind so that I won't forget it and slowly close my eyes. The ground that he stands on is similar to the wasteland that I saw before. There is nothing around. There is nothing extra on the summit where everything was blown away. The battle has ended. The battle for the Holy Grail has ended, and the curtain is about to fall on this battle as well. He does not know how long it was, but the accumulated wish that should have bound him forever is gone now. The end quickly permeates into him and melts this era's vision of his body. He looks toward the voice calling him. The girl must not have the spare energy to run because she. What? The girl must not have the spare energy to run, but she runs too, breathing unsteadily. He quietly watches her. The girl that ran up to him looks up at the knight, still breathing unsteadily. The red cloak flowing in the wind shows no trace of what it used to be. It's torn everywhere, and his armor is cracked and broken. His existence is weak. The knight that stands still with haughtiness, just like the time they first met, starts to disappear from their feet up. Dawn approaches in the distance. The golden sun faintly rises faintly from the horizon.
残念だったな。そういうわけだ。今回の聖杯は諦めろ、リン。
Does he not have anything special to say? The Red Knight says a trivial thing like that. It gets the girl all the more. With that body that was about to disappear, the knight was the same knight as before. An ally that she trusted and ran through the night with, who had her back while making sarcastic remarks. She can declare that those memories were fun, looking back at them. They are still in front of her, changed. He remained to save her at the last moment. He lost his master and withstood the noble phantasm of the King of Heroes. His body was disappearing, but he didn't ask for help or watched it over on the map. The end is in front of him. The girl can't think of what she should say. It is always like that for her at the most crucial of times. She loses her quick-wittedness when she needs it most. The knight smiles slightly. He did that from the start. The girl's clumsiness is a memory more fond than anything to the red.
何よ、こんな時だってのに笑うことないじゃない。
She looks up at the knight and nodded.
失礼。君の姿があんまりにもあれなものでね。お互いよくもここまでボロボロになったと呆れたのだ。
He still has a smile even as he banters. She gets a lump in her throat after seeing his face free of regrets. She wonders if it's okay. The moment she wonders if it's okay for him to just disappear like this.
もう一度私と契約して。
She says those words that she shouldn't say.
それはできない。リンがサイバーと契約を続けるのかは知らないが、私にその権利はないだろう。それに、もう目的がない。私の戦いはここで終わりだ。
His answer has no doubt, but his will is pure. His face is bright as the sunrise, and how can she force him? How can she force him when he's making a face like that?
けどそれじゃあんたはいつまで経っても。
He's saved. The girl swallows. Got a fucking spam call from North Dakota at this crucial juncture. The girl swallows her words and looks down. It's not something the girl should say, and it wouldn't be granted even if she kept the knight in his word.
参ったな。この世に未練はないが。
It's troubling to have this girl cry. For him, the girl always has to be positive, realistic, and indulgent. He was always encouraged by her. That's why he wanted this girl to be her usual self until the very end. The girl looks up at the sound of his voice. Her face trying to hold back her tears is adorable. Rather than expressing the slight attachment that he feels, he looks at the collapsed boy in the distance.
私を頼む。知っての通り、頼りないやつだからな。君が支えてやってくれ。
The knight says objectively. Those are words of farewell. The future might change. If a girl like her stays by Shido and Mia's side, then the hero named Mia will not be born. His distant words contain such hope. But even if that were to happen, even then, the knight in red already exists will forever be a guardian. He and the boy are different existences. They only have the same starting point, and he was an illusion that the boy dreamt of. There's no salvation available for this knight anymore. There is nothing to give him, as he has already died and become a phenomenon. The girl nods in spite of that, and if she cannot give him anything, she gives him the biggest smile in the air. He asks her to take care of him, in order to answer that trust that he put in her.
分かってる。私頑張るから。あんたみたいにひねくれたやつにならないよう頑張るから。きっとあいつが自分を好きになれるように頑張るから。だからあんたも。
Forgive yourself. She doesn't put it into words. The girl looks up at the disappearing knight with a flood of emotions. How much salvation did that bring? After engraving the girl's smile into his memory with pride.
答えは得た。大丈夫だよ、遠坂。俺もこれから頑張っていくから。
Oh. A breeze. The knight finally rests his wounded body without waiting for the girl's reply.
んだ。結局文句言い損ねちゃったじゃない。
She wipes her tears as they well up and says to the man who is no longer there. The voice is invigorated and she begins her usual stout hearty voice. It is only natural. She doesn't have time to be down after the man who made a face like that. She sets her wearer to the wasteland before, where the knight stood, and the girl runs down to the collapsed boy. In the golden sunlight, his smile as he disappeared was just like the boy from the past. Okay, but how is he there, though? What the fuck happened to Gilgamesh? Sometimes I recall that sword fight. The sparks of clashing swords, the hustling intense spirit. The many attacks were inexperienced, not something that one could call a sword dance. We were both clumsy and did no retreat. Ridiculous sounds as the swords were annoying. I had no memory of them. At that time, wait, did that say that? It did say that. At that time, I lost an answer and found an answer at the same time. A plus and minus makes 0. Nothing has changed after all. That's not true. He's him and I'm me, just dreaming of his fading memories. It's only been a month. It already feels so nostalgic. Feels like it happened long ago. The memory of it is fading day by day, and I can't even recall what the person I was fighting looked like. It's like, you dumbass. That also can't be helped. It's something that was impossible from the start. It's not like either of us believed that the fight would change it. Just tried to attack our own shadow and assert ourselves. That's why there was nothing we could gain from winning. Something like that has been struck from the start. It won't go away. It's the end if you lose. There is no prize if you win. And it really didn't pay off. But I can still recall if I closed my eyes. The echoing sounds of unrefined metals. The distant and blinding sword fight that did not know retreat. It was our beliefs that clashed with each other. I opposed my own ideal to carry out my hope. The outcome is still undecided. I don't know which one I don't know which one. That's a really weirdly worded sentence. This game has a lot of that. I don't know which one won or which one remained. It should be a while until the answer comes out. An illusion like a mirage that disappears when it turns around. Just using the reverberation as my guide, my feet will eventually reach this place.
Kora, 起きんかったわけ。みんな集会に向かったぞ。学校に来ていながらボイコットするつもりか貴様。
My body is being shaken. The voice brings my sleeping mind back to reality. Snap back to reality!
あれ、なんで一星がいるんだ?
I lift my face up from the desk and stare at my classmate's face.
なぜなどない。ここは教室で。今日は2年最後の日で。時刻は終業式10分前だ。姿が見えぬからもしやと探しに来れば、本当に居眠りしていると呆れたぞ。
I don't know if he's panicking or if he's mad, but it's rare to see Issei yell. It's only Issei and me in the classroom. It's 9:50 a.m. The end of term assembly is at 10 a.m., so everyone must have gone to the gymnasium.
もし、きちんと目が覚めているか、エミヤ。
今ので完全に目が覚めた。サンキュー一星。起こしに来てくれて助かった。
わかればよろしい。だが礼は後だ。急がねば間に合わん。
Or he's okay for us.
お前と俺が欠席とあっては、藤村先生がどんな暴れっぷりを示すか見当もつかんからな。
了解。明日から休みだっていうのに、無茶な課題出されたら、クラスのみんなに顔向けできない。藤姉をおとなしくさせるのは任された。
頼むぞ。これ以上宿題が増えれば、皆に顔向けができないどころか、間違いなく呪われる。
That's a scary way to put it, but it's frightening how it's the truth. Last summer, the amount of extra homework we got after we made Fujini mad was insane. How did she give you extra homework? She like what does that even entail? wasn't even English. English homework? I don't know what she was thinking when she told us to enter some competition anywhere in the country and win a medal. It's not. She can't enforce that. Do you get worse marks if you you can't enforce that.
エミヤ、急げと言っとろうが。
あれ、すぐ行く。
We should hurry to the gymnasium for now. It takes 3 minutes if we run from here to the gymnasium, so she would be able to get there 5 minutes before if no teacher finds us.
いや、それはダメだ。廊下を走るのはいかん。
Yeah, we're doing that now? That was naive of me. As suspected of the student council president, he's really committed as he's still following the rules even in this situation.
まだ一斉。けど、歩いてたら間に合わないぞ。
走らぬ程度に急ごう。何 ?1 分前だろうがなんだろうが、間に合いさえすれば言い訳は立つ。
You might be able to, but I don't think we can. I now don't walk faster. It's mid-March, but the sky that I see out the windows is amazingly blue. Koyuki City has long winters, but it seems like spring is finally around the corner. The days went by quickly. It's been a month since the Holy Grail War, and the town is back to the normal Koyuki City. The Holy Grail was destroyed, and most of the damage caused by the Masters was taken care of by the church. The person that came to substitute for Kirei Kotomine was... Oh, the church. I don't know why I just did not process that we were talking about the church. The person that came to substitute for Kirei Kotomine was old but energetic, and everything was settled efficient. But the traces of the war were still left here and there. So Toshiro Kuzuki, who chose to fight as a master, is considered missing. He says sad that Kuzuki, whom he respected as an older brother, was gone.
元からひょろりと寺に現れたゆえ、去る時もこんなものだろう。
He just locked it off. But what surprised me was Fujini, since it turns out that they often drank tea together. She confessed that she wanted to have a match with him at least once, so it seems that she saw through the fact that Kuzuki was a master of martial arts. Shinji's life was saved by Tosaka, and he's currently in the hospital. Apparently, the hospital is part of the Mages Association, and his body is recovering. Good for him. Sakura is busy visiting Shinji, so she's been showing up only on the weekends this past month. Well, good for her at the very least, and I mean that unironically. But fuck Shinji, bro. Went to go sleep on them once, but they were getting along so well that I thought I was seeing things. I don't know if whatever was possessing him went away from that incident, or if he's just unenergetic from the wounds. By the way, the Shinji that I saw being taken care of by Sakura was sarcastic but sincere, and he's acting more like the Shinji that I first met. That does not change what he did. Saber is not here anymore. After she destroyed the Holy Grail, she left the world as a servant. The moment she destroyed the Holy Grail by her own hand, she must have been released from whatever was binding her. You don't know that for a fact. It's frustrating that I didn't get to say goodbye, but I should be glad that she released her from the fixation of the Holy Grail. You don't know that for a fact. She destroyed the Holy Grail in the last Holy Grail War, so there's no guarantee that that works that way. If I'm able to see her again, I want to thank her as much as I can. And finally, the most important person. We get down to the first floor on our way to the corridor towards the gymnasium.
あら、生徒会長。こんな時に校舎の見回り？それとも各部室の手入れかしら？毎度のことで言い飽きたけど、そういうところ本当にマメなのね。
We run into the one representing the students at the assembly instead of the student council president, as she comes out to the teacher's office.
こちらもその言い回しには飽き飽きだ。たまには違う憶測を立ててみろ。それとも貴様、よもやわざと繰り返しているのではあるまいな。
He takes a glance at Tosaka.
そんなの当たり前じゃない。何？今まで気づいてなかったの、竜道くん？そうなんだ。もう少しユーモアのある人だと思ったけど、本当に堅物だったのね。ごめんなさい。今まで親愛の情を込めて同じ挨拶をしていたけど、あなたには分かりづらかったんですね。
何が親愛だ。 お前に向けられる親愛など覚えがない。行くぞエミヤ。ネギツネに構っていては式に遅れる。
He sure doesn't get along with Osaka. That is a decision that he made. There is no reason for him to feel like that. Well, I guess he didn't mention the thing about the souls, so, and her being a mage and everything. Yeah, I'm fine, whatever. But he has decided that. Well, I feel the same way, so I'm in no position to feel any sympathy. Our eyes meet as I pass by Osaka. We decided that we would act normally when we're there around others. I naturally ignore Osaka and follow Issa. However,
おはようエミヤくん。今朝も元気そうで嬉しいわ。
she just cling to us? I don't know what she didn't like, but she embraces my arm and puts on a big smile. My mind goes blank. We have been seeing each other every day, but this is the first time we've touched each other like this in a month. I desperately try not to blush and resist Tozaka's touch.
冗談よ。けど嬉しいのは本当よ、エミヤくん。そうだ、式が終わって生徒会の手伝いが済んだら一緒に帰りましょう。私、あなたが来るまでずっと教室で待ってるから。
Tozaka puts emphasis on keep on waiting.
何を口にするか貴様。とっととその腕を離さんか。
Is he unironically gay for us then? I love that. Because that implies that the keep on waiting was like, you keep on waiting. This is my man. Fuck you. I hope that's the case. I want that to be real.
何って、竜道くんには関係ないでしょ。それじゃあ失礼。生徒会長に代わって挨拶をしなくちゃいけないから、私も忙しいの。
Osaka leaves with the noisy footsteps of a victor.
どういうことだエミヤ。貴様、あのメギツネとどういう関係だ。
いや、どういう関係って言われても困る。だいたい遠坂と知り合いになったってのはかなり前に言ったと思うが。
そんなものは1ヶ月も前の話だろう。悪いことは言わんから手を切れと忠告したはずだ。そうか、弱みだな。あいつに弱みを握られたのかエミヤ。
まあ弱みといえば弱みは握られてる。
やはりそうか。くそ、己遠坂、もはや捨ておけん。さあ相談しろエミヤ。今すぐ白状しろエミヤ。二人で手を合わせて今日こそあのメギツネに仏罰を下してやるのだ。
You say shakes my shoulders.
いっせ、時間、終業式始まるぞ。
みじんも構わん。どうせ初めは気圧のざれ言。少々遅れた方が精神衛生上よかろう。
Student council president is still shaking my shoulders. He says he's usually calm, but he's a different person when it involves Tosaka. Tosaka must be his natural enemy, but...
悪い、一世。士気が上がっているところすまないが、俺じゃ遠坂をどうにもできない。やっつけに行ったら逆にやっつけられる。その悪いことは言わないから、あいつには近づかない方がいい。
エミヤにしては後ろ向きな発言。まさかそれほどの弱みを握られているというのか。
残念ながらそんなわけなんで、遠坂退治は一世一人に任せる。辛い戦いだとは思うが、俺の分まで頑張ってくれ。
そうか、分かった。安心しろエミヤ。より良い学園生活のためだ。何としても遠坂の化けの皮を剥いで失脚させる。ネギツネめ、運動系の部活動を束ねて何やら企んでいるようだが、あと1年もすれば生徒会も盤石だ。本当の勝負はそれからよ。
The student council president laughs fearlessly. Oh, but Issei, we'll all be graduating in a year. The end of term assembly ends, and the school starts to calmly lose its liveliness. Spring break has started. Most of the students have left. Can someone explain to me how Japanese school years work? It's just year round? Because I know they only have 1 month for summer. but I think they have more breaks. So, like, they have Golden Week, they have Spring Break. So I think it overall amounts to the same amount of days off that Americans get. But, like, someone explain that to me? Anyway, most of the students have left with a smile, and the athletic clubs are already started their training camps today. There aren't many students left in the building. All the classrooms are empty, and all that's left is the hallway and the redness from the sunset.
やっと終わったわね。一世のやつ、最後までシローに手伝わせるんだもの。あれ、絶対嫌がらせよ。
An empty classroom. Kosaka smiles and says so as soon as she sees me at the 2A classroom tinted by the sunset.
バカ、遠坂がおかしなことするからだろ。そっちが余計なこと言わなきゃ、もっと早く解放されてたんだ。
I enter the classroom complaining. I wonder why I feel so restless in the other classrooms, even though they all look the same.
何よ、私のせいだっていうの？シローは。
半分は間違いなくな。いいか、いきなり仲良くなると変に思われるから、3年まで知らないふりしようって言ったのも遠坂だろ。なのに、なんであんなことしたんだよ。
今日で2年も終わるんだから、ちょっとぐらいフライングしてもいいじゃない。だいたいね、無視するにしたって他に方法があるでしょ。昼休みにすれ違うのならいざ知らず、私たちしかいなかったんだから、目配せの一つぐらいするのが筋ってものよ。
Oh, we didn't say hi. I don't know what she's upset about, but Tosaka complains, well, we didn't say hi. We did not say hi to her. We did not say good morning. Or whatever time period it was at the time. It was 10 a.m., so good morning. We did not say good morning to her. She got mad. That's adorable, actually. Is it because the classroom during sunset? That gesture that I'm used to seeing looks so fresh and cute that it makes me admire her.
ほら、もらい物だけど飲むか。
For the orange juice pack that is distributed to students who help clean up.
もらうもらう。やった。シロってこういうところは気が利くのよね。
She accepts the juice pack and takes a sip out of the straw. She's sitting by the window. Kosaka is looking down at the campus as if looking at something bright. I follow her example and look down at the campus while sipping. It must be the track team running. Our athletics department is really lively, even though it's spring break starting tomorrow.
ねえ、エミヤくん。昔陸上部にいなかった？
Then, Kosaka suddenly asks me something strange.
陸上部？いや、俺は昔から弓道部だけど。
え？
そっか。まあ、そういうこともあるわよね。夕焼け見てたら思い出しちゃった。
Telling me to forget about it, Kosaka sips on her orange juice. What was that then? I'll forget if she tells me to. If she calls me Amiya instead of Shino half the time, it's making a sarcastic remark, and the other half is when she says something important. I'm sure this one was the latter. For a month of her grueling magecraft course, I'm starting to finally notice Tosaka's habits.
にしてもあっという間だったな。聖杯戦争が終わってシローが私に弟子入りしてもう1ヶ月か。なんかこの分じゃ1年なんてすぐに過ぎ去るわね。
It's been a month since I started learning magecraft from Tosaka in hopes of becoming stronger. I've been putting in hard work and tossed around by Tosaka's malicious nature, so it's been a whirlwind, but it went by quickly. The past months seemed long but felt fast. So then, a year might go by as quick as spring break.
1年か。その頃にはこの学校ともお別れだな。
そうね。この教室は今日限りの教室で、4月になったら新しい教室になる。それと同じで、1年後には違う場所に行くことになるんでしょうね。
Kosaka holds her knees and blankly looks up out the window, still looking down at the campus.
違う場所か。
I wonder what I'll be doing when I graduate a year from now. No, I don't even have to think about it. What I must do doesn't change. I just need to make it my ideal come true, just like he believed. Well, and I'll have one other goal that is just as big right now, but I don't want to think about it too much since it's irritating.
ねえ、エミヤ君は卒業したらどうするの？やっぱりお父さんの後を継ぐの？
ね、いやそうだけど、後を継ぐっていうより早く一人前になりたい。そうじゃないとカッコつかないだろ。
へえ、カッコつかないって誰に？
This is it. In other words, the other goal is to make her admit defeat.
別にいいだろ。とにかく俺の急務は一人前になることで、そのために遠坂に弟子入りしたんだ。
I think it would.
よろしく頼む。
I think it would have been much cooler if you just smiled and looked at her.
あら、ずいぶんと強気ね。あと1年で一人前になろうだなんて。私、10年ぐらいは覚悟して師匠役を引き受けたんだけど。そっか、エミヤ君はあと1年でいいんだ。
10年？それは嬉しいけど。いや、そうじゃなくて、えらく気の長い話じゃないか、それ。1年ならともかく、10年なんて遠坂も疲れるだろ
う。別に、エミヤ君の目標が一人前になることと同じで、私のしたいこともあなたを早く一人前にすることだもの。頭の中じゃちゃんと計画立ってるわよ。なんなら紙にして渡そっか。
いや。
That's... I couldn't ask for more, but...
けど、それも無理かな。エミヤ君、お父さんの後を継ぐんでしょ？なら卒業した後もずっとこの町にいるってことよね。
Yeah, but...
そうだけど、
Kirisugu traveled all the time.
遠坂はどうするんだよ。遠坂の家は冬木の管理人なんだろう。遠坂だってこの町から離れられないんじゃないのか。
私は卒業したらロンドンに行くけど。
Why?
今回の件で魔術協会から推薦も取ったし、試験なしで入学させてくれるらしいわ。
Oh, wow.
ロンドンって魔術協会の総本山のあのロンドン？
ええ。冬木の町じゃ限界があるし、5年ぐらいは時計塔で勉強しようかなって。
Let's go, Yamazaki. I also like Red.
父さんもそうだったって言うし、魔術師として一人前になりたいなら最高学府に行くのは当然じゃない？
Fair enough. I'm surprised. It's so sudden that my eyes get wide and my head becomes empty. For Chisaka, who's a legitimate mage, that much is natural. I finally realized the difference in our positions that I hadn't thought about until now.
ロンドンか。それすごいことなんだよな。
それは微妙じゃないかしら。悔しいけど私本人の力を認められての正体じゃないわ。父さんの功績もあるし、今回の件だって単に最後まで残ったからだし。
She says it casually, but it must be impressive after all. But London, huh? That's indeed a bit too far. Just like my old man who wasn't a part of the Maze Association, I'm also not good with formal stuff like that.
でも、それを言うならエミヤ君にだって資格はあるわ。私が推薦すれば入学試験ぐらいは受けさせてもらえると思うけど。
But I might be able to move there at least. I can start working more and study English, save up for the flight to Britain, and in about a month's worth of living expenses, and find a job over there. Will they let you work over there? If anyone has the possibility of getting a Steam Deck, don't hesitate. It's an incredible machine for the person that lets gaming in bed. I've heard nothing but good things about it, honestly. Exactly. Yamazaki, you follow the series. What game should I play? I mean, this is the unlimited Blade Breaks route. What should I play after this?
エミヤ君にとって教会が敵地だから乗り気はしないだろうけど、時計塔ならちゃんとした道具も揃ってるし、修行には持ってこいよ。でも固有結界は秘密にしないとダメだから、あくまで基礎力の試験になるのか。1年で足りるかな、時間。
No, even if I hypothetically rented an apartment there. I don't know what kind of place the clock tower is, but I'm sure Tosaka will get busier. In that case, I should study on my own and go see her once I become a proper mage. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. First of all, London isn't even suited for me. I bet I'll faint if I go there and it's filled with people like Kotomine. That's rude.
ちょっと人の話聞いてる？エミヤくん。
なんか言ってたのか、トサカ。
You shouldn't admit it. Tosaka goes quiet with a clouded expression. Then, she takes a deep breath with a serious expression. I now have only watched Fate Zero, Fate Unlimited Blade Works, which is this, Carnival Phantasm anime. I've never played a Type Moon game. Oh, well, I liked it. So we did the original route beforehand, and the original route, the original Fate Stay Night route, I enjoyed quite a bit, but I tried to watch the anime after it, and the anime is so fast-paced, it cuts out so much. I'm gonna try to watch Unlimited Blade Works now that we're at the end here, but we'll see how I feel about that too.
言い忘れてたんだけど、私は遠坂の後継者として招かれてるの。つまり、一人前の魔術師としてちゃんとした一人部屋をもらえるってこと。
That's a weird provocation. She says something that doesn't make sense. It's a weird provocation because Shido would not understand what that means.
だから、一人前の魔術師として認められているの。そうなると、弟子の一人や二人はいて当然でしょ？ほら、向こうじゃ派閥争いもあるって言うし、一人ぐらいは弟子を連れて行ってもいいんだって。
Tosaka glances at my face.
それは。
Even if I'm thick-headed, I can at least tell what Tosaka's trying to say. In other words.
そうよ。世話係としてなら、身内一人ぐらいは無条件で連れて行けるみたい。それなら、試験を受けることもないし、学費も何もかも免除になるわ。
Well, that's really nice.
まあ、扱いは教会の学徒だけど、教会には属さないっていうそんな役回りになっちゃうんだけど。
Color returns to my mind. Wait. No, I forced the color back into it and mobilize it. I recommend watching the Fate Zero anime. See, the thing, Yamazaki, is that when I started trying to get into Fate, I started with the Fate Zero anime, and the whole first episode just took me out of it because it was all exposition. I didn't know what the fuck was happening. Since all the characters are adults and the plot does not overcomplicate, just heroic spirits killing each other. It has an episode to with children. Ah. What Tosaka is saying, I rack my brain and absorb myself into weighing my options that I have a year from now. I must look funny being flustered as Tosaka is giggling.
なんだよ。俺は別にお前の言葉に踊らされてるんじゃなくてだな。
言いたいことはそれだけ。私はロンドンに行くけど。
She looks softly at me. Tosaka looks at me with a mischievous expression.
ねえ、シローはどうするの？
She gently asks me as if seeing through my heart. My face turns red in an instant. Her words and behavior alone blows away my trivial humility and dislike towards the association. This is what I meant by Tosaka knowing my weakness. Falling for her is a weakness that I haven't been able to deal with for a long time.
あら、突然だんまり？私、答えを聞いてないんだけどな。
She keeps smiling mischievously. She knows what my answer is, yet she pursues and attacks mercilessly.
だから、俺は。
London is honestly too far, but I can't imagine London Magecraft from anyone other than Tosaka. And more than that, I wasn't even thinking of parting with Tosaka. Most of all, I want to be with Tosaka.
もう、大事なことなんだからはっきり聞かせなさい。世話係になっちゃうけど、私と一緒に行ってくれる？
うるさいバカ。バカ。大事なことならもっとちゃんとした場所で言えってんだ。いきなり言われて口にできるか。
And so we became a tsundere. I don't know what will happen to me if I stay like this, so I look away from Tosaka. I still feel her presence though through my back. Tosaka happily watches me sweat.
ね、シロ、答えは？
I don't know if the Ace Attorney games or Hotel Dusk count as visual novels. They do. I don't know what Hotel Dusk is, but Ace Attorney definitely counts as a visual novel. Or point-and-click adventures. If not, I can say I've never played a visual novel. Ace Attorney definitely counts as a visual novel. It's like half visual novel, half point-and-click. A gentle voice like whisper. I give up. Was this hard to just reply and not honestly? But I can't look back at Tosaka unless I say it clearly. Look at Tosaka just in my eyes and tell her my true feelings to the best of my ability. Tosaka smiled just from those words. Smile widens.
じゃあこれからもよろしくね、エミヤ君。あなたが一人前になるまで遠慮なく鍛えてあげるから覚悟なさい。
そっちこそ言っとくけど本気にしたぞ。こうなったら一人前になるまでちゃんと面倒見てもらうからな。
もちろん。シロを真人間にして思いっきりハッピーにするのが私の野望なんだから。ロンドンに連れてくぐらいで値を上げられちゃたまらないわ。
I don't know where her previous cuteness went. No, that was insanely cute. What do you mean? Tosaka says with her confident smile and she jumps off the desk. The sun should soon set. Spring break will end. It'll be April, and yet and another year should pass by quickly. We'll part with the scenery until then. After a year, I will be spending my last moments of student life with Tosaka like this.
帰りましょう。今夜はエミヤくん家で賑やかに晩ご飯にするんだから。
I hope you understand the plot twist with Unlimited Blade Works because I still don't get the business with Shiro and Archer. Well, the business with Shiro and Archer is that that Archer is the future version of Shiro, but because Archer came to this time period and shit is happening right now, they have now deviated into different time periods. But Archer is still outside the timeline, which means he's still a guardian spirit. But the plot twist is just that Archer and Shiro are the same person. We leave the classroom without any regrets. I hate the liveliness of the athletic club from the schoolyard. The shots are distant and remind me of a sword fight from some time ago. What I don't understand is what the fuck happened to Gilgamesh? What was the black hole shit, and why was Archer still alive at the end? Because didn't that motherfucker disappear when we were fighting after we fought him and Gilgamesh killed him? Didn't that happen? But why is he still alive? Or why was he still alive? Can't stay in the same place forever. Tosaka and I will be going to a different place a year from now. It should be a while until I find out whether this is the right choice or not. Or follow the red Feito just once. Neither this classroom nor the sword will fight will change. Everything is the same. An illusion like a mirage that disappears if one turns around. But I can't get there if I aim high. But I can get there if I aim hard. I will definitely catch up to his back with Tosaka's help. So I'll come up with the answer at that time. The sound of swords echoing in the distance. Using that as a guide, I will eventually reach that place. You ever tried a Sakura Warriors game? I don't really know what that is. Walking with the wind blowing on your face, walking towards the future. Busy days with no compass to guide you. After traveling to distant exotic countries, you will return to where you belong one sunny day. I beat the game! Yay! Alright. I think I like Unlimited Blade Works more than I like the original story, to be honest. I think the plot twist with Archer and Shiro is fucking awesome. Also, I like Rin. Rin is best girl. Everyone's saying saying Sakura is a really cute character as well. So I'll have to see where her shit is like eventually, but I don't know how to do that. Do I have to watch the anime? Is there a different game I gotta play? If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button. Well, we're gonna wait until the credits ends out. But make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, or if you want to see more content like this. Seriously, hit the like button. I'm very, very dead ass about that. And if there's more Fate games to be played, like I know there are more Fate games to be played, but let me know which one I should be playing after this one. Or even how that works, because I don't quite know what's supposed to happen. Everyone likes Marin, especially Saber. I know what the implication means, but I'm confused on the implication. But yeah, no, I thought it was cool. It sucks about Ilya because I didn't want Ilya to die. Ilya is just a kid. But I think the Unlimited Blade Wars plot is better than the original Fate plot. Isn't there another route with the girl with the purple hair? People tell me that, but I don't know if it's in this game or not. The game hasn't said anything that's shown that's a thing. The comments in this video will probably tell me. Are we done? Hello? Okay. There it is. Maybe. Answer? Okay. And we get even a further continuation. We get the Persona 3 answer. What came back to me was a distant memory. It was a sign that he should have forgotten and discarded, something that should not have returned. The sparks from swords clashing, swords pressing against each other. Dozens of premature and immature attacks and defenses are exchanged. The match couldn't even be called an elegant exchange of swords. Its clumsy melee of each side and 90 together. Only in Japan do you hit with the art of this quality as a certain charm, though it's low quality. I don't agree with the way that you phrase that, but I understand what you mean. This is an old art style. It's very old feeling, but it still works. I don't agree with the way you phrase that, but I understand what you mean. So how did this once worn out vow get revived? It is an unbelievable fight between the swords. He charges in despite being fully wounded. His fingers broken, limbs ripped, and the boy doesn't even realize it, but his breathing had long since stopped. His speed is insignificant, and the blows he delivers are mediocre. Even though he's absorbed his knowledge and reached the point where he could withstand a battle, he's back to being as clumsy as he was before. He executes a haphazard, mediocre attack. However, the first blow is heavier than any of the other attacks before. There is no such thing as a hero of justice. Knowing better than anyone else that his ideals are false, he silences that thought. His distorted mind can't bear it. It collapses. It's clear to the boy that his own contradictions are going to eat him up. But he shows no indication that he's going to submit. There is no sign of falsehood in him that as he wields the blade while his body is torn apart and his mental state dissolves. The intensity of this conflict is incomparable to anything in the past. The boy swings his sword wholeheartedly to side struggle. The space is filled with sparks, and anything that tries to intervene is instantly cut to pieces. It is the embodiment of the two parties' minds, which were repelling each other yet melded together. A decisive blow is struck. It's simply the final spark and an ember emitted by a person in their last moments. The boy gasps and nearly falls over with each blow, then steps back and swings his sword again. Seeing that, he is convinced. His enemy doesn't have any strength left. The boy in front of him, why are we reading this again? The boy in front of him is on the verge of death, corpse-like. Yeah. Then why does the boy continue to wield the sword, as if he has infinite strength? He briefly sees a vision. He must have gotten tired of seeing his opponent swing his sword despite knowing that it was pointless. Irritation, the most abhorrent impulse wells up within him. What did he feel was beautiful and noble? The boy says he doesn't want to see people die meaninglessly. It is possible. Is there a way to save everybody who is suffering? Of course not. He knows a wish like that is meaningless hypocrisy. The idea that others are more important than oneself is not something that should ever cross one's mind. However, how wonderful would it be to be able to live like that? How great would it be to hold such an ideal like that? He can't hear what his enemy is saying. His enemy's voice is so weak, yet the sword he wields is fierce. Looking closer, the boy's hands gripping the sword have melted with the hilt. He must have done it to secure the sword, but by doing so, he would directly feel the impact from the sword. The boy is covered with blood. And is this word for word the same? That was word for word what happened earlier. The boy is covered with blood, and if he retreats even a step back, he will fall forward as a corpse. Every attack the boy executes must be equivalent to agony in hell. The boy's voice is inaudible. The boy who is on the brink of death frantically goes up against the obstacle before him. The man does not need to be told what drives the boy to continue moving. It's a bad dream. The man is shown a reflection of his past. The boy continues to swing with his shredded arm. The only thing that can be heard is a strained yell. There were people that could not be saved, and he himself could not be saved. He saw the memories fade away meaninglessly and unjustifiably, and he vowed that he would never let that happen again. There is only one thing that comes to mind: what he believes, what he believed. An idea he once swore to never let anyone else have. Even now, he swore he would not let anyone take it away from him. And then, the man realizes that there is no end to this repeating conflict. The enemy will not stop. The enemy will not stop on his own. The boy strikes with all of his might, but his efforts do not grab the man's attention. The boy is trying to cut down himself. He's the one who's doing the obstructing. The enemy is wielding his sword for what he believes in, for the sake of what he can continue to believe in. Realizing that, the man gnashes his teeth. He sees the boy keep fighting, even if he knows he can't win, even if he knows there's no point. That is the exact mistake that the man once made. But then why? Why does he keep looking at the boy straight on? The high-pitched sound of metal. The attack finally gets parried. The opponent should never have been able to block the attack, but he repels the man's attack with all of his might as if it were natural. The mirror shatters. He's not that strong. He's not all that strong. The way he looks when he fights is ugly. It is beyond appalling. But that sight. But in this world, who in this world could laugh at and scorn him for that? He holds its breath. The enemy flicks his sword and resheathes it in a single large stance. This will be the final attack. Will he be able to stand there any longer with his wounded body and a fading spirit? He will. The boy overcame those extreme limits 10 times already. Then, even if the man prevents this incoming attack, the enemy in front of him will surely not stop. He wields his sword and he crumbles to the ground, but his eyes are looking straight at him. Briefly, he sees a familiar dream. This dream, who thought of it, and who passed it down to whom? The boy's voice finally reaches his empty heart. A single scene comes to sight. When the ugly, obsessive, false sense of goodwill. Beautiful, struggling ideal. The final blow comes, but the man does not see the sword that is about to pierce his chest. That is the only thing that motivates the boy. Even if his heart is fake, the beauty of what he believes is real. And that's something that can't be faked. That was the only thing the man could be proud of. The thing that was once his own strength. The boy tries to complain with a crushed throat. He wants everyone to be happy. That's right. There is no way to turn back from the very beginning. Because this dream is, without a doubt, countless sins and mistakes were committed by his hands. There was no way to atone for them other than to curse and eliminate himself. His blood-soaked hands were proof that he would never be forgiven. And yet, his gaze is straight. Mistakes and lies. He shakes off everything that pierces him, but he continues to run without stopping. The battle ends in victory. The steel, the pain that pierces his chest will not pardon his sins. To a man who curses himself, salvation will never come. He gains a small answer. The answer will only last until he fades once again. It's a minute of meaninglessness. It's a minute and meaningless one that will be forgotten the next time he is summoned. There's nothing to feel remorse over. It's something that has already been established, something that the boy will spend the rest of his life building. There's only one thing that comes to mind. There is regret. He doesn't know how many times he wished to start over. This conclusion and ending, the man will continue to curse it forever. Yeah.
それでも俺は間違えてなどいなかった。
There's nothing to talk about. The boy will stay while the man will go. The only thing that remains in memory will be the exchange of blows. The path stretches into the distance. Relying on distant echoing sounds, the boy heads for the wilderness. Why wasn't that part just in the part when we fought in the like, why did we need to come back here to see that? That felt kind of unnecessary. Like, you had to just put it to begin with. You know what I mean? A new route has been unlocked. Damn, the game's not over. Heaven's Feel. Oh, it's her route. Damn, the game is not over. All right, well, that's the end of Unlimited Blade Works. Well, I mean, that answers my question. We still have more Fate Stay Night to go. I thought we were done. Shit. Like I said, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you hit the like button. Especially let me know if you want to continue this, because I don't know, my Discord is not really vibing with the game. I'm only continuing it because it's doing well on YouTube. So if you guys want more of this, let me know by hitting the like button and commenting down below. Should we find someone to raid out to? It's 9 p.m. So we should be able to. Let's see. Let's just raid into Kelsey. He even said hi to Kelsey in a while. Please, for the people who've been watching this on YouTube, please let me know what directions I'm supposed to have to do the next route. That would be very helpful. I appreciate that if you could do that for me. As much as I wasn't here long enough to appreciate it, I'm glad you appreciate it. It's very good. You know what, Batra? What you could do is you could just watch the anime. Or, I mean, if you feel up to it, you could watch me play the game. It's going up on YouTube, so. But I do think no matter what, it was a good experience to look at. I do think Feito is pretty worth it. Go watch the anime. The anime, especially Unlimited Blade Works. I've heard that we've seen the first fight of it, or one of the fights in it. It's very good, very well animated. So the fights at the very least are really good. But yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. We're gonna be watching Solo Leveling. Hopefully that's good. And what is going on Monday? Sunday I don't stream. Is anything going on Monday? Not particularly. We'll see what happens Monday. We should probably continue with SMT 4, so I'll probably see you guys for that. All right, everyone have a great night. Thanks for hanging out. Take care.